Fenway Park is cloud-covered and it's cold as the Red Sox and Oakland A's wrap up their three-game series from Fenway. Hi again, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, and welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, a cluster of movement for the Red Sox over the last 24 hours. We kind of wondered about Kevin Youkilis and whether or not he'd end up on the DL. Today, we find out he does end up on the DL, and the Red Sox #1 prospect is now in the big leagues. We take a look at what has taken place in the last 24 hours. Lars Anderson was optioned back to the Pawtucket Red Sox. Kevin Youkilis is indeed placed on the 15-day DL. Will Middlebrooks comes up from the Paw Sox, where he had 9 home runs with Pawtucket so far this year. Saw a lot of them in spring training. And Clayton Mortensen, who was traded from the Colorado Rockies to Boston for Marco Scutaro, is called up from the Paw Sox. So a lot of movement over the last 24 hours for the Red Sox. Jerry Remy is still under the weather, so we welcome WEEI's Rob Bradford. And Rob, for the Red Sox, a lot of changes in the last 24 hours, and finally the arrival of Will Middlebrooks.
Yeah, for a lot of people, a long time in coming. This guy's been tearing it up in AAA. Got a little bit of a taste of AAA last month of the season. Said that went a long way in getting his feet wet heading in this year. Impressed a lot of people in spring training, just carried it over. Again, a lot of people looking forward to seeing this guy play.
He is in the starting lineup tonight. With more on Will Middlebrooks, here's Jenny Dell.
Don, Will Middlebrooks entered the 2012 season as the top baseball prospect for the Red Sox organization, according to Baseball America. And tonight, the 23-year-old makes his debut in the major leagues at third base, batting 8th.
I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't going to be nervous. So I'm just going to go out there and have fun. Just to play my game and be Will Middlebrooks. You know, don't try to be anybody else and just come out here, play your game, and have fun.
Here are some of the reasons for all of the hype. In the International League this season, Middlebrooks is tied for first with 31 hits, second in home runs with 9, and is second in RBI with 27. Don, all of this from the 2007 fifth-round pick.
Well, it should be a lot of fun to watch tonight. Mike Avila's in the starting lineup, leading off some terrific numbers against the Oakland A's as the Sox try to win the series. We're back with more right after this. Between the Oakland A's and the Boston Red Sox. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo. Well, last night when we left the ballpark, we wondered what would happen to Aaron Cook. He had the May 1st date, whether or not he would become a free agent or whether the Red Sox would activate him. The Red Sox have activated him, and they will use him on Saturday, as he will officially be activated before the game on Saturday. And to make room, Josh Beckett will actually skip a start as it works out. Beckett will miss one start, and Aaron Cook will get a start against the Baltimore Orioles here on Saturday. At first, it appeared he'd be headed to the bullpen. He'll make the start, and the question is what happens to Aaron Cook after that start and whether or not Josh Beckett will be back. Rob Bradford joins us. And Rob, how concerning is it right now that Beckett will miss a start?
Well, I think it's concerning any time you have one of your top starters miss a start because of injury. But really, if it's not an oblique problem, it's not a shoulder problem, which they're saying it isn't right now, then that's a step in the right direction. The fact that they're so adamant that he's going to make his next start is encouraging.
Well, tonight for the Red Sox, it is Daniel Bard who is on the hill. He's done well in relief against the Oakland A's. He'll get his first start against the A's next from Fenway. to you by New England's website for deals via Toyota.com. Dunkin' Donuts, your New England Subaru dealers, and by Southwest Airlines. Well, good evening once again, and welcome to chilly Fenway Park as the crowd settles in for the third and final game of this three-game series, and the Red Sox take the field. Will Middlebrooks, his first Major League game. As the Sox have taken the field, let's check out the visiting Oakland A's starting nine, brought to you by Jordan's Furniture. Coco Crisp leads it off in left field with Cliff Pennington at shortstop. It is Josh Reddick in right field batting third. Yoenis Cespedes is in center field. He bats fourth in the cleanup spot with Seth Smith, the DH. Keela Kaiahui is at first base batting sixth with Kurt Suzuki doing the catching. It is Brandon Inge at third base batting eighth, and Eric Sogard gets his first start of the series. He is at second base. On the mound for the Red Sox tonight, Daniel Bard making his first start against the Oakland A's. This is his fifth game overall, fourth start. He's 2-2 with a 3.72 earned run average. One win from the pen, one win in the rotation. And the win in the rotation came last time out against the White Sox. 7 innings, giving up 3 runs, 2 of them earned. He struck out 6 in that start against Chicago. The Red Sox defense is brought to you by, the Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Third to first, Middlebrooks is at third with Aviles at short. Pedroia at second, Gonzalez at first. Left to right in the outfield, it's Ross, Bird, and Sweeney. And the battery tonight, Jared Saltalamacchia on his birthday. His 27th birthday today does the catching for Bard. The Red Sox have moved up to second in the American League in fielding percentage. Umpiring crew tonight, Manny Gonzalez has the plate calling the balls and strikes. Vic Carapazza at first base. Phil Cuzzy, the crew chief, at second base. And Greg Gibson is the umpire at third. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game. Weather tonight, 48 degrees to start the game. In from right field, it blows towards the hitter at 6 miles per hour. And mostly cloudy, and right now it is some ominous clouds above Fenway Park as we get it started tonight. The Red Sox and Athletics wearing 1936 throwback uniforms. And Will Middlebrooks getting his first Major League start at third base. And in his second Major League broadcast, Rob Bradford joins us.
Yes, Don. Anytime you say ominous clouds, I feel like I should be in attendance.
It is never a good thing.
No. It's been ominous clouds for quite a few games in a row here.
Coco Crisp stands in to get it started and pulls it back and takes strike one. Terry Remy is still under the weather, so WEI's Rob Bradford is alongside tonight.
It's my pleasure, Don. And what I'm going to be looking for from Bard out of the gate here is how much he leads off hitters with fastballs. Because hitters are starting to sit on a little bit. I want to see if he mixes in the off-speed stuff a little bit more.
Runs a pitch inside at 94.
Well, I guess there's 2 fastballs, so I got what I was looking for.
Right out of the gate. Under the watchful eye of Bob McClure. As Bard tonight. Ready to work here with a 1-1. Coco Crisp will chop it on a couple of hops to Pedroia on the right side, and there's one away.
Yeah, Coco, he really has been something they've been missing when he was out of the lineup. He missed 7 straight games with the virus, missed another game obviously last night, and talking to people in the Oakland organization, him at the top of the lineup makes a lot of things go for them. They're already a pretty weak offensive team, but not having him there makes a big difference.
How big a deal do you think it was for him to move from center field to left field to make room for Cespedes?
I think it was a big deal. I think there was some rumblings to think how sick was he really? And the fact is that he's back in the lineup. He's going to have to get used to it because Cespedes is the guy they want out there feeling comfortable all the time as much as possible.
Cliff Pennington, the shortstop for the Oakland A's, hitting at .213 on the years. Bard deals a liner into left center field. It's in for a base hit. Quickly over is Marlon Byrd to play it, and he holds Pennington to a 1-out single.
Yeah, a thing that we're going to be looking for from Pennington here is how much is he going to hit the ball on the ground, how much is he going to hit in the air. He's been hitting in the air too much this year. He's a speedy guy. He usually wants to hit it on the ground. Obviously, he got a fastball he could work with there, and he went with a pretty nice piece of hitting.
So Marlon Byrd getting it quickly back in. Pennington at first base, 1 out. And it brings up Josh Reddick.
And Don, we saw a lot of stolen bases at all of third base. Bob Melvin said before the game today he'd rather steal third against Dubron than second because his times were slower when guy was on second.
Saw it happen a couple of times last night in Game 2 of the series, part of the A's victory here. A great opportunity, it appears, for Josh Reddick to have a chance to play every day. He's batting third in this Oakland A's lineup. Yeah,
he's not going to be hitting third for a lot of major league teams, but good for him for getting the opportunity here. That's no knock on Josh Reddick, of course.
1-0 is in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Well, the temperature gauge for Reddick, last 5 games, 8 for 20 during that time. Hitter starts the year at 72 degrees. Every time he reaches base, it goes up, increasing incrementally with a double, triple, or home run. Inversely, an out, strikeout, or double play decreases a hitter's temperature. Temperature gauge, a measure of how hot or cold a hitter is. This is back to Bart. He'll try to get 2. Aviles on the first. It is 2. And it wraps up the top of the first inning. Red Sox are coming up from Fenway. First inning, the Red Sox coming up here in the bottom of the first. The Red Sox starting lineup is brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. Mike Aviles leading it off at shortstop with Ryan Sweeney in right field, Dustin Pedroia at second base, Adrian Gonzalez at first base, David Ortiz batting fifth, the DH. Cody Ross in left bat sixth with Jared Saltalamacchia doing the catching. Will Middlebrooks in his major league debut at third base bats eighth, and Marlon Byrd in center field bats ninth. On the mound for the A's is Brandon McCarthy. His 7th start of the year, 1-3 with a 3.23 earned run average, 22 strikeouts, 10 walks, and opponents hitting at .292 against him. A win against the Orioles last time out in Baltimore, 7 innings, 5 hits, and 2 runs, walked 3 and struck out 4. It was the first start he made against an American League East team this year, and it's back-to-back for him now tonight.
And Don, it's really interesting McCarthy's kind of road to where he got here. He used to be a 4-seam guy, big-time strikeout pitcher. He morphed into more of a 2-seam guy, get a lot of ground balls. Mike Aviles was actually talking to him. He faced him a ton in the minor leagues. So he was a totally different pitcher from the guy he faced last time. Become a pretty good pitcher.
He is 1-3, but with a higher earned run average against the Red Sox, 6.29 ERA in his career as he gets a strike over. And it is 2-1.
You know what's interesting? I'm noticing where Inge is playing back, and I talked to Mike Aviles before the game why he doesn't bunt. He said because he has more confidence hitting a double than he actually does bunting, and guys usually are playing in.
Liner to right, righted Reddick out there will put it away for the first out. Take a look at the Oakland A's defense. Inge, who you just mentioned, at third base with Cliff Pennington at short. Eric Sogard's first start of the series. And it's Keila Kaiahui at first base. In the outfield, Coco Crisp, Yoenis Cespedes, and Josh Reddick. The battery, Kurt Suzuki and Brandon McCarthy. Defense has not been terribly good so far for the A's. They are 12th in the American League in fielding percentage. And Sweeney stands in and takes strike one.
Again, I would think to look for with McCarthy is how many ground balls he's going to be throwing. It's a good sign for the Red Sox that Aviles was able to get the ball in the air out of the gate there.
McCarthy with a fastball, curveball, changeup, and a cutter.
You go back to when he was with the White Sox and then he went to the Rangers. Before he had some shoulder problems, some broken bones. He really was a hard thrower, had a ton of strikeouts in the minor leagues, a big prospect, totally changed his game.
Sweeney lines it down the right field line. It's a fair ball. Reddick will head over to dig it out as Sweeney heads for second base. He'll get there easily with a one-out double and another ball in the air.
Yeah, really a good sign for the Red Sox right there. Really good sign for Ryan Sweeney, who he hasn't really shown no signs of letting up. McCarthy throws a little 92 mile an hour cutter here, gets it right where the left-handed hitter loves it, right low and inside. He takes advantage of it, gets the ball in the air. As we said, important sign for the Red Sox.
So one out, runner at second base, and it brings up Dustin Pedroia. It's Ryan Sweeney with the double. Key matchup is brought to you by New England Honda dealers. 2 for 6 against McCarthy in his career. Well, a double for Sweeney, the 12th of the year for him. It's major league leading.
Well, I mean, if you said you in April with what Ryan Sweeney gave you, you'd take it every single time.
A lot made of the power of Ryan Sweeney, a guy who's very big, was 6'4". He has 14 home runs, but with all these doubles, does it really matter?
No, it really doesn't. And you go back to, I remember the first game they played against the college teams, and Ryan Sweeney hit the home run. And everyone's saying, oh, is that the new Ryan Sweeney? Is he going to start hitting home runs because he's such a big guy? He doesn't need to. He shouldn't be something that he's not, and so far it's working out for him.
Well, at second base with one away. Pedroia to left and deep as Chris hits over towards the corner. Coco will make the catch back by the 3:10 marker. And back to second goes Sweeney with now 2 outs.
Yeah, McCarthy living a little dangerously there. You get the ball, even though it's up and in, it was a little too in for Pedroia, but you get it up. Typically, that's going to be a ball that Pedroia takes advantage of a little more than he did there.
Coco could still go get it. He had to go back into the corner to make that grab, and there were 2 outs here in the first inning. There's Adrian Gonzalez, who has run into a little bit of trouble as of late, as he is 0 for 7 in the series and 0 for 11 as he stands in on the left side. And a swing and a miss for strike one.
You know, it's interesting. Adrian Gonzalez swings at probably more first pitches than anybody in the Red Sox lineup. For a guy who usually sees a lot of pitches, he swings at a ton of first pitches. And the thing that he has to start doing is he has to start swinging balls in the zone. He led the entire major leagues last year in average of balls in the zone. He has to start identifying those a little bit better.
Thought about it, but did not pull the trigger on a pitch outside. 1-1.
But there's a perfect example of that, right? Just a little bit off the plate. He swings at it. It's probably not the pitch he wants. You get the ball in the zone. You get his pitch. He hit over 400 on pitches in the zone last year. Nobody else in the major leagues did that.
Really jumps out at you when you look at an 0 for 11 for Adrian Gonzalez. Very rarely you see any kind of prolonged slump of any kind.
Yeah, you really don't. And he's going to get going. He is who he is. He's going to find a little bit of a hot streak there. But it just comes back to everybody goes through slumps. Everyone misdiagnoses pitches. And I think that's really what he's doing now. He's doing a pretty good job of this at bat, though.
2-1 out over the plate, but it is fouled back, and it's 2-2.
But that's the pitch right there, Don. That's the pitch that typically when he's going good, he's going to hit. He set him up with a 2-1 count. He got the 92-mile-an-hour fastball, and he's just not able to take advantage of it.
May was terrific for Adrian last year. He hit .341 in May with 31 RBIs. Going to deliver Ryan Sweeney here in the first inning. That'll just miss over the inside corner. It appeared 3-2.
You know, McCarthy's going to live about 92, 93. He really hasn't hit anything above 93 all year, but the velocity isn't so much a thing. It's kind of like what we're going to see with Aaron Cook on Saturday. If you can live at 92 with a good sink to it, that's what you want from that type of pitcher.
Three-2 is downstairs for ball 4. And Adrian works the walk with 2 down in the inning.
It's a good at bat for Gonzalez. Really what he identified the right pitches. He missed that one that he probably could have hit off the wall when he's really going good. Other than that, it was pretty good at bat for him.
2 on and 2 outs, and David Ortiz coming up. David hitting at .386 so far in the season. A terrific April with a slugging percentage at .693 for David Ortiz.
He didn't like the questions about April yesterday.
No, I guess not.
What's the big deal? I hit 400 in April every single time.
It was a pretty good April to me.
I'll take that April.
He did not want to discuss April at all. As this is on the ground, shift is on. From short comes Pennington. He will throw out Ortiz, and McCarthy gets out of early trouble in the first. We're done with 1 from Fenway. No score. The Red Sox Foundation, helping to address health needs in our communities. Second inning back at Chile Fenway Park tonight. No score as Yoenis Cespedes leads it off for the Oakland A's and takes strike 1.
You know, you look at that first inning with Bard. Really good first inning, not only because he found the strike zone, he finishes off with the changeup that induced the ground ball. Only 2 hits off his changeup all year.
Cespedes slowly grounds one towards Middlebrooks. His first chance in the big leagues as he slings it over to first base for the out. So Middlebrooks getting that first play out of the way as he throws out Cespedes.
Yeah, this just in. He's good. He really is a good fielder, though. I mean, for a big guy like that, that's the thing that struck me at spring training, that he can move pretty well. He has got a good arm. He's got good hands. And I don't think, obviously, when you're hitting that many home runs, people aren't going to identify that, but he's a very good fielder.
We got a good look at him during the spring, as you mentioned. JetBlue Park in Fort Myers, and here he is. I don't know if anybody expected to see him on May 2nd, but he is here. As the pitch in there for a strike to Seth Smith. What do you think of the Kevin Youkilis situation? He said today that he felt better today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, back's a tricky thing, right? I think they're making the wise choice just to reel him back a little bit, let him recover, and then go from there. Because if you have a healthy Kevin Youkilis, then you have a middle-of-the-order presence, the type of thing that's such a valuable commodity in baseball. I think people underestimate that. Everyone falls in love with Will Middlebrooks, but the reality is if Kevin Youkilis is healthy, he's a very, very valuable guy to this team.
That has been the problem, though, over the last few years, is keeping Kevin healthy. This is in the air, hit pretty well out towards right center field. Marlon Byrd will go get it, and he makes the catch for the second out. Ball kind of died out there in right center field. The breeze blowing in, 2 away. But don't miss out on the 100th anniversary season of Fenway Park, as the month of May is packed with great matchups. The action continues this weekend as the Red Sox battle the Baltimore Orioles. And later this month, the Seattle Mariners visit Fenway Park on May 14th and 15th. Get your tickets now for these great matchups at redsox.com/tickets.
You look at that last pitch, and that was a good example of he put the slider not really where he wanted to, but the hitter was sitting on a fastball just enough so he was out in front of it and didn't get anything behind it at all.
Here's the pitch you're talking about.
Yeah, that's typically not where you want to get it to a left-handed hitter low and inside, as we saw to Sweeney, but I think he was just out in front of it enough to make it effective.
Kila Kaiahui, that's his second start of the series.
And clearly feeling good about himself after his first career stolen base last night, too.
That'll just miss, and it is 2-1 to Kaiahui.
You know, it's amazing. Kaiahui was a guy who a lot of people didn't even think was going to make the team. And everyone thought Derek Barton was going to be the first base, but not only did he make the team, but even when Barton came back, he's their guy. He's probably been their best hitter this year.
Saltalamacchia tried to bring it back to the corner, but it is 3-1.
That changeup can be a really, really good weapon. I think that it's really underestimated in terms of how well the Bard can throw that and how effective it can be.
3-1 is inside, gets away. It's ball 4, and it's the first walk given up by Bard. He's walked 1 in 2 of the 3 starts he's had. He walked 7 in his start at home against Tampa Bay. And he watched Kaiahui here with 2 outs in the second inning.
Don, up until that at bat, it looked like Bard had really good command of his stuff, but this is the thing, right? I mean, this is the problem that he's had. He cannot have any more of those 7-walk games or 5-walk games. He has to have some sort of command, because when he does, his stuff is so good that the opposition really isn't going to have much of a chance.
Well, Kurt Suzuki checking in, hitting at .229 on the year, the catcher, hitting out of the number 7 spot for the A's. Yeah, that's in there for strike 1.
Don, I will bet you right now that Kaiahui will not get his second major league stolen base right now.
You don't think he's thinking about second base right now?
I know
with all this newfound speed.
I know he's brimming with confidence, but clearly he can only steal third. Everyone knows that.
But does Kaiahui know that? That is in there for strike 2, and it's 0-2. The slider there.
Yeah, really good slider from Bard. Put right where he wanted. And now he has him 0-2. He has opened up the whole arsenal here.
Oh, 0-2 the count. On the ground softly towards Aviles at shortstop. He's going to go to first with it, and that will wrap up the second inning. Well, batting third next inning. First major league at bat for Will Middlebrooks when we come back to Fenway Park. And how about 89 cents? That's all it costs for any size frozen or fountain beverage at the Cumberland Farms Chill Zone. Hurry in today and mix up yours. Last half of inning number 2 from Fenway Park. Cody Ross, Jared Saltalamacchia, and Will Middlebrooks to bat here in the second inning. Cody Ross starts tonight hitting at .282. 5 homers, 18 runs batted in. Rob Bradford from WEEI is alongside tonight as played game 3 of this series with the Oakland A's. And it's strike 1 over the outside corner. The temperature gauge right now is on the upside for Cody Ross. 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And Bill James temperature gauge as the pitch rides outside.
That's how it works?
That's how it works. Starts at 72 degrees.
You get 3 hits and the temperature goes up?
It goes up. It rises.
I could use some hits right now then if I'm freezing.
It is a tad cold here tonight at Fenway. 1-1 is up the middle. Ranging is Pennington. He'll get there. Sidearm toss is in time for the first out of the second inning.
You know, Oakland's really struggled with their defense lately, especially this year as a whole. And the fact is, when you get Pennington in there, he's not a bad player. He just has to get some confidence going. And obviously, they don't have Weeks in there at second, which makes a big difference. He was actually hurt running out of ball last night. So the Red Sox are able to take advantage. We'll see. But Weeks is a pretty good player. He's not playing with a whole lot of confidence right now as well.
Well, Jared Saltalamacchia enjoying his 27th birthday. We'll see how much he enjoys it tonight as he takes a breaking ball for strike 1.
You know, Don, I asked him best birthday gift ever. He said number 1, his first major league game was on his 22nd birthday.
That's pretty good. He'll lift this down the left field line towards the corner. Coco Crisp is over, but that ball will land foul.
Well, clearly that was going to be his second best birthday present if that landed fair.
That one dropped in fair. He might have liked it.
His second favorite birthday present right now as we sit here, it was assuming he doesn't hit a home run right now, was a 4-wheeler. Who gets a 4-wheeler for their birthday?
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
I can't think of any birthdays were really all that good. And they're getting worse every year now as you get older. 1 out in the second inning. Jared Saltalamacchia waiting on an 0-2. And it'll drop down low. 1-2.
You know, it's for Saltalamacchia, I won't say it's unfortunate, but he was getting on a little bit of a roll there. And then you have the lefty-righty situation with him and Shopback. And so his playing has been a little bit sparingly. We'll see, though.
That is in there for strike 3. His birthday does not start off well. It was the first strikeout for Brandon McCarthy. And there's 2 down. Here comes Will Middlebrooks' first major league at bat.
You know, I saw Middlebrooks in Pawtucket game, the last Aaron Cook game in Pawtucket, hit a 3-run homer, absolute bomb. It showed the type of power potential this guy have. Obviously not the be-all, end-all when you're looking at him as a hitter, but that's why people like him so much. You start a year, whether it's in the minors or majors, hitting that many home runs, people are going to like you.
Red Sox have produced a lot of good pitching over the years, but there's always been waiting for that big slugger to come through. And this could be the closest thing to it.
It's one of the things the organization really hasn't come through with in years past. It's hard to do. You look at a guy, they tried to go at a first-round pick with Jason Place a few years ago, a high school kid, didn't pan out. It's a hard thing to get, and they haven't been able to develop them like a lot of organizations.
I remember early on in his career, a lot of people thought maybe Lars Anderson could turn into that.
Well, when Teixeira signed, everyone's like, "Oh, who needs Teixeira when you have Lars Anderson?"
3-0 pitch is going to miss, and it's a 4-pitch walk to the rookie. First at bat, and his patience as he goes down to first base with a 2-out walk. Second walk given up by McCarthy tonight.
Good for him. I mean, really, the fact is that you want to see a few pitches in your first major league at bat. He did that. I was talking to Mike Aviles about his first major league at bat. He said 1, 2, 3 pitches and out. Because you know you want to savor the moment a little bit.
Kevin Youkilis rooting for him tonight as Youkilis heads on the DL, and Will Middlebrooks is here. Certainly, we've heard a great deal about him in the last couple years and his elevation very quickly through the Red Sox system. 2 down, Middlebrooks at first, and Marlon Byrd slipping to the number 9 spot.
You know, Bird's an interesting guy. I don't think he's going to reach the levels he did a few years ago, but I do think he solidified that 9 spot, which once you moved the Vilas up, it became a real problem. I think he only had a few teams in entire baseball had a worse batting average than the 9 spot in the Red Sox. He's been a pretty good addition, I think.
And his defensive play in center field has been pretty good.
Yeah, when he's not taking 90-degree angles.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the root every now and again.
That's all right.
But he gets the job done in a result-based business. He gets there.
That's right. He certainly, you look at him as a defensive player. I think he's above average center fielder. He can play the game just as good as Repko did, and that's really all they wanted because he's a better offensive player than Repko.
Well, Jenny Dell will catch up with Marlon Byrd next half inning. There's the pitch in there for a strike 2.
I also think he's fit in pretty well in this clubhouse, too. He's a high-energy guy. He seems to get along with a lot of these guys. Basically, he was dropped into a situation where he knows nothing about the adversity they went through, and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
May work in his advantage. A 1-2 pitch coming to Byrd. Runner goes, pitches outside. The throw, and Middlebrooks will be safe. Steals his first major league base.
There is nothing he can't do, Don.
Well, into scoring position here with 2 outs.
Gets a pretty good pitch to run on it. Suzuki had to reach out a little bit, just enough to make his throw go awry.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down here in the second inning. Bird gets a piece to stay alive. Red Sox baseball in NESN is brought to you in part by Eastern Bank, the official bank of the Red Sox television network. Tradition, history, and a commitment to everyone on our team. These are just a few of the things Eastern Bank is made of. Find out more at easternbank.com. 2 outs in the second inning. Will Middlebrooks is at second base. Marlon Byrd with a count of 2-2. And a swing and a miss. McCarthy strikes him out. Second K for McCarthy. Ends the second inning. No score from Fenway.
So I hope he adds definitely a little interest, gives us a little something else we can look forward to.
And Bobby Valentine asked before the game about what he told Will Middlebrooks, and Will Middlebrooks is here. He has had his first plate appearance, walked and stole a base. He's got that under his belt. He's also made a play defensively at third base as we move along to the third inning. Brandon Inge leading it off here for the A's. Inge, Sogard, and Crisp. Rob Bradford, this is your second Major League broadcast. What was your first Major League broadcast? Did you say something about Toronto?
Yes, everyone remembers it well. 2004, Toronto Blue Jays on the Chasing Steinbrenner book tour.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah.
So this, did you get to do the game, or were you just talking about the book?
No, I did an inning.
Oh, good. So that would have been with Jerry Howarth, who's one of the game's best.
Yes, I thought he was very good for that inning, too.
Really? Well, how are you? I mean, did you think you did pretty well? Do you grade yourself on the appearance?
You know, I said that this Alex Rios looks like a fine young ball player.
It turned out all right.
I consider myself a prophet after that.
And a scout?
Yeah. I sold at least 2 books.
Well, in all seriousness, I did enjoy the book very much.
Oh, you're
Jason
the one?
Steinbrenner. Oh, I liked it a lot. 1-2 pitch is just outside, framed by Saltalamacchia.
I gotta be honest with you, Don. You're gonna find this shocking, but more people were interested in the Red Sox parts than the Blue Jays parts.
Really?
Yeah. I found
Yeah,
J.P. Ricciardi fascinating.
Local guy, of course.
Absolutely.
Mr. Mass. They've gone. They check it first, and no, he did not, says Vic Carapazza.
I just got the Don Orsillo waving at the umpire.
I think he went. We'll see. No, maybe he didn't.
No. But that really says it right there in terms of the slider. Getting him to chase a little bit. He's got a ton of guys to chase on that slider this year.
3-2 to Inge. And that is inside. Kind of tied him up. Ball 4. Let's send it down to Jenny Dell.
Don, as you know, Marlon Byrd had just 3 hits in 13 games for the Cubs. But since getting traded to the Red Sox, well, he's more than tripled that number in just 9 games. The 34-year-old says hitting coach Dave Magadan is a huge reason why.
Mags he said, all right, forget about everything you're doing. Let's go back to 2009 and 2010, and let's start over and go from there. Forget the tap step, forget the leg kick, get it down early and go to work. So, you know, we just went back to the old and it worked.
Byrd said that he couldn't be happier to find a new home at Fenway Park, saying he's always loved playing here. And Don, he joked about hearing Sweet Caroline the last 2 nights, saying that now he's in a Red Sox uniform, he doesn't feel weird singing.
Now he can feel okay about it. Back to Dave Magadan, though, for a second. It is amazing how Dave will simplify a guy's swing and what he is doing very quickly. You hear it often from guys. He likes to keep it as simple as possible.
It really is amazing. There's not a lot of hitting coaches you can say, okay, here's a tangible evidence that this guy turned this guy around by doing this. And because we know how it works with hitting coaches. When you don't hit, team doesn't hit, that's when his name is brought up. When they do hit, you don't hear anything about it. But you can all go all the way back to Pedroia's first year. Remember, he slumped in that April. Magadan makes one slight adjustment at the beginning of the year, then takes off from there.
That same kind of thing is going on the flip side right now with the Angels and Mickey Hatcher's situation, as they have not hit. As this is popped up to shallow left, and Aviles is there to make the catch for the first out of the inning. But that's, I guess, just how it goes. Hitting coach, pitching coach, if your area is failing, then they kind of look at you.
Yeah, they really do. Magadan's secure in himself, I know, to understand the situation here. He's been here a while. He knows the players. I think that when they were juggling the coaching staff during the offseason, everyone's wondering who's coming back. I don't think there was any doubt. And really the sign to me that he was coming back when they sent him down to Dominican was Cespedes. Would that work out? Because that was well before any manager was named. But they said, okay, we value your opinion. That's an important guy to have around.
1 out runner at first base, and Coco Crisp, the batter, grounded out to second base in the first inning as he takes a pitch up top for ball 1.
Well, Bart's changeup is really, really effective tonight. You can see the hitters are really out in front of it. Obviously, changeup you're going to be anyway, but I'll say it again. It looks like this is another team sitting on the fastball a little bit, and the balls that they have hit, they've been out in front of on the slider and on the changeup.
1-0 as starting and stopping was Inge. The throw goes down to second base. He did not continue down, but Saltalamacchia fired down there anyway.
You know, we talked a little bit about Coco going to left field before, and the fact is that he's such a good center fielder, and I understand that they really want Cespedes to be comfortable with everything going on with him, but it seems like such a waste to have Coco in left, especially you look at this ballpark. You can't tell me that Coco Chris wouldn't be better in center field than Cespedes over here.
No, agreed. And for Coco, it's got to be very difficult knowing that he is one of the game's best center fielders and now moving to left. I mean, I understand his problem as well.
Right. I mean, you can look at it in Oakland and say, okay, you know, that's a spacious outfield. But here, you might want to switch it up a little bit.
It also sounds like something they probably should have done with Cespedes at the beginning of spring training.
Right, absolutely. And obviously, they've gone way out of their way to make this guy feel comfortable, and for good reason. And he's done a pretty good job. And a lot of people think, hey, you know what? Next time through the league, he's not going to be as good. Bob Melvin was actually talking about Cespedes and saying, I think he's going to be better because he's been able already to adjust.
3-0 pitch coming to Crisp. And that's right down Broadway for strike one.
Yeah, Bard really can't fall behind here like he has been the last couple batters.
He's already walked 2 tonight, 1 in the second, and leadoff walk here in the third.
It was interesting to listen to Melvin before the game talk about how much he'd rather steal third last night than have them steal second, just because of Dubron's time with the guy in second compared to first.
Time called late, and Bard stops his delivery.
I don't think he's happy. I don't think he was happy about that time.
It was a very late time call.
Yeah.
Manny Gonzalez, home plate umpire, and Bard had to stop.
How about the Sox? We haven't even mentioned.
I kind of like the Sox. Everybody's doing it all the way around. As part of throwback uniforms night, both the Red Sox and Oakland A's. 1936 throwback uniforms. Here the A's, then the Philadelphia A's. This is out towards left center field. Ross is calling and catching out number 2 of the inning. Well, the Sox off day this week gives us a chance to bring you down to the farm for a look at the prospects in the Sox system. Tune in Thursday night at 6:30 when the Paw Sox visit the Toledo Mudhens to see the Stars of tomorrow play today here on Nesson. 2 outs in the third inning. Brandon Inge at first base, and Cliff Pennington, the batter. He's got the only hit so far off Daniel Bard tonight, a first inning single.
You look at that last pitch, it was only 92 miles an hour, but it was put in a really nice position, right on the outside corner. Couldn't do very much with it at all.
I kind of wondered about that coming into the season, and actually asked Daniel Bard this during the offseason of Red Sox Hot Stove Live when it was determined that he would be in the rotation, or at least will have a chance to be in the rotation, how much different his fastball would be from where we saw it in the 8th inning. Would it be 98, 99? He said he wasn't sure. We've seen mainly 92, 93 as a starter.
Yeah, last couple of outings, he actually has dropped down a little bit more. He's maxed out at 98. That's been his fastest pitch this year. But earlier in the year, first 3 starts, I think it was 95, 96, 94. But you go back to that start against the White Sox, 92, that pitch, 92, which is fine as long as you're going to put it in the right spot. You go that Konerko home run, the 3-0 pitch, 92, wrong spot.
Pennington with a pretty good hack and foul tip, 2-1.
Yeah, so here's a pitch where it's a really good location, got a little bit of a movement to it. Like we said before, lefty hitters, you don't want to give it too much of the low and inside. That's right down the wheelhouse, but it got enough of a movement so he missed it.
Josh Reddick waiting on deck, 2 down with a runner at first, trying to work his way around a leadoff walk. And they'll miss up and away, 3-1. 4th 3-ball count of the night for Bard.
You know, you look through the first 2 innings, he was only at 20 pitches, 13 strikes. Really has to kind of find that rhythm he has in the first 2 innings, because you don't want to end up in a situation like you had last night.
On the ground softly to first. Gonzalez will take it himself to the bag, and that will end the top of the 3rd inning. Play 2.5 from Chili Fenway. No score. No one covers the Celtics better as they make their way to banner number 18 tomorrow on Dennis and Callahan. Tim Legler from ESPN and Celtics head coach Doc Rivers join the coverage. It all begins tomorrow morning at 6 right here on Nesson 93.7 FM. It's a pop-up right side that is handled by Sogard for the first out of the third inning. WEI's Rob Bradford is joining us tonight as we play the last half of the third inning with one down.
Yeah, with Aviles there, you don't want to change his approach, but you want to keep the kind of the parade moving a little bit against McCarthy. The fact is that we're working up some good pitch counts against him. Swings at the first pitch, doesn't really get the pitch that he wants and pops it out.
Ryan Sweeney has the only Red Sox hit. He doubled in the first inning.
You know, Sweeney goes way back with McCarthy, going back to the Chicago farm system days.
And McCarthy, the best season of his 6-year major league career. Last year, 9-9, 3.32 ERA and 25 starts. At career highs in wins, starts, complete games. At 5 complete games, and pitched in 170 2/3 innings. Soft ground ball left side. Pennington's going to get it there in a hurry, and he does for out number 2. He said if he can get it on the ground, things will work well for McCarthy. This is third ground ball out of the night.
Yeah, that's prototypical McCarthy right there. That's not what the Red Sox want to do. Sweeney played right into his hands. You know, it's interesting. Talking to the guys who have gone against McCarthy, almost all of them said the same thing. They said, we faced him a few years ago. 94, throw it right down the middle, try to get you to swing and miss. Now he's working the corner, he's trying to get ground balls, totally different type of pitcher.
2 down in the third inning, dealing with Dustin Pedroia, who hit one to the corner down the left field line, but it was caught by Coco Crisp. 40th pitch from McCarthy is outside.
Yeah, if they could really get into the Oakland bullpen, I think it would behoove them. The fact is that you have the closer, probably not available tonight after what he went through with Balfour.
Will they stay with Balfour is one question that I have. He's blown 2 saves. Last night was on the shaky side.
Well, I tell you what, if I was Ben Cherington, I'd be on the phone with Billy Beane right after the game. You're going to get a buy low situation. He's a guy who's proved himself enough.
Deep third, it's picked by Inge. A long throw. He's got a good arm, and he gets it there in time. Nice play by the new Oakland A, Brandon Inge. It's a 1-2-3 third. No score through 3. FW Web is the go-to resource for over 15,000 plumbing, heating, and HVAC contractors. Selection, expertise, solutions, we've got it. Visit fwweb.com. Fourth inning back at Fenway Park. No score through 3. Both teams with 1 hit. And it is 40 pitches for Bard through the first 3 innings. He's got to deal with Josh Reddick, Yoenis Cespedes, and Seth Smith here in the 4th inning. Reddick after the first pitch pops it up back a second. As Aviles, stride of 2 on the outfield grass, puts it away for the first out of the 4th inning. Dunkin' Donuts is proud to give back at every Red Sox home game. Dunkin' Donuts, a nonprofit children's organization. Thousands of kids have had the chance to catch a Red Sox home game thanks to Dunkin' Donuts. Tonight we welcome Oliver H. Perry School from South Boston, Mass. Dunkin' Donuts committed to the community. 1 out, 4 in a row, retired by Bard. And here's Yoenis Cespedes. We were talking to Peter Gammons last night about the video that was passed around on Cespedes during the offseason. I mean, that was amazing.
It was. I never knew how to roast a pig until I saw that video.
It was incredible. It had all kinds of stuff on the video.
It was. It was. Nothing punctuates a highlight reel like a roasted pig.
No, but I mean, was it real, you think, the video itself? Some of the stuff they were showing?
I don't know. Well, evidently, one of the guys who was in charge of putting that together is suing Cespedes right now.
Well, really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So,
yeah, there's some problems going on.
He provided the video, and want some catchers to look at some of the video of him training. I mean, it was like the $6 million man was available, which turned out to be more.
See, if we had a sense of humor, we would have superimposed your and Remdog's face on the 2 guys sitting on top of the weights there.
There would have been much more on one side if we had done that.
You know, Dave Magadan talked about when he went down and watched this guy, and he just said right away you could see how impressed he was with him. And the fact is, he said, obviously you get out there. He hadn't played in a while. He gets out there against competition for a first time in a few weeks. Does really well.
Hold on, is that 1,000 pounds? What is he? Look at that.
Yeah, that's by my calculations. That is 1,000 pounds.
Look at the left and the right.
That's more impressive than dunking over somebody.
Unbelievable. No, we have not really seen it yet, as that slider misses outside. Actually, the fastball outside, 3-2. But Peter was kind of drawing comparisons to him and Bo Jackson a little bit.
Yeah, well,
what do you think?
By that video, sure.
Yeah, I mean the strength.
But I mean,
by itself,
I think some people are drawing comparisons to Rudy Pemberton and Bo Jackson too when he was here. Right. The guy has to produce. Bo Jackson was a very good baseball player.
And he drives one deep and far towards left center field. We'll see if the wind will knock it down. Back is Ross. Can't catch it. It's off the wall. Bird plays the carom, and Cespedes has got a 1-out double. It's the second hit of the night for the A's.
You know, the thing is, one of the things that Bob Melvin was talking about, and a few people, how he's been able to adjust. And you saw it right there. He adjusted on that slider from Bard, did exactly what he should have done with it. I mean, that's something that is going to be very, very important as he goes forward, because the pitcher is going to change how they approach this guy. And so far, so good. He really has done a good job of adjusting.
No scoring position with 1 down. First base runner to reach second base so far for the A's tonight. And here is Seth Smith, the DH, who flied out to center field. A DH who is hitting at just 194 for this light-hitting Oakland A's team. Pickoff play at second, no throw, as Aviles had cheated in from behind.
Yeah, Aviles saw he had him there. Had a little bit of space between the base runner and his glove. I think Bard was just a little hesitant to make the move.
Well, the Oakland A's as a team last in the majors in batting average, hitting at 212. Next closest team, the San Diego Padres, at 214.
Well, you look at their OPS. I think Gomes is the only one with an OPS of over 800. You just can't get by with that type of production. And like you said, when you have a DH struggling this much, really throughout the lineup, they have some holes here. They have some guys who it's filling the gap. Even Suzuki. A lot of people think that the minor leaguer coming up is going to take his place real soon. It might be trade bait at the trade deadline.
Suzuki hitting at 229 currently. You got the number 3 hitter in Josh Reddick at 276, says Pettis at 250.
Yeah, they have a kid, Derek Mars, coming up, who was in the Gio Gonzalez trade, a catcher, and they really feel like he's the catcher of the future. And so Suzuki could be a name you hear at the deadline.
They are waiting also for the return of Manny Ramirez after he serves his suspension.
Well, that's clearly going to fix everything.
That'll take care of the entire problem.
Yeah, well, obviously it'll help. I mean, I think it'll help just because
it has to.
Well, we're looking at a DH right now who's hitting under 200.
He started the night at 197. Down to 194. Here's a 2-0. And it's a one-hopper that explodes into right field. From second base comes Pettis. He will score. And the A's strike first on top 1-0. Seth Smith, the DH, drives it in.
You clearly heard us talking poorly about him. But the fact is, 94-mile-an-hour fastball, just the wrong spot. Right out over the plate. Very hittable pitch. We're not talking about the 97, 98-mile-an-hour fastball that we saw for Bart as a reliever, which is fine, but you have to locate it in the right spot, and that clearly wasn't the case there.
Well, Oakland has scored first in all 3 games of this series. Red Sox won the first game, dropped last night's game, and now trail 1-0 in the third game as Keila Kaiahui stands in. He walked in the second inning. And strike one over the outside corner.
That's a good pitch right there. That should be an encouraging sign. You put that 94-mile-an-hour fastball right where you want it to.
Bart up to 52 pitches through 3 1/3 innings. Kaiahui swings away and pops it up right side. Pedroia makes the catch for the second out of this 4th inning. Time now for tonight's AT&T trivia question. And our question tonight, which 2 players have hit 50 home runs in a season for the Athletics? We'll have the answer for you a little bit later.
You know the answer?
I do not. I think I know one.
I would think it would be pretty obvious, wouldn't it?
Yes, you'd think so.
Oh.
2 down here in the 4th inning. Seth Smith at first base. Kurt Suzuki is the batter. I'm just talking about Suzuki. Hits at 229 coming in. He grounded out to shortstop first time up. This one is foul back and just below us.
If I only had a net and the window was open.
We weren't going to share that secret with people out there, but
well, I mean, the window is open.
It's not open. And that he could have got it. See, the new camera's back. It's great news. The robo camera just came back. The Bruins eliminated. It made its way back over from the Garden. And we're so happy that it is here. Love this camera.
It's
right in your face. It's totally intrusive. And there it is. How you doing? Welcome inside. This is Rob. I'm Don. It's great.
You feel better.
Oh.
It feels like you have a lot of confidence tonight.
I don't.
Because you're better looking than the guy sitting next to you.
Well, this camera is, it's not good. HD does not do you any favors either, as I'm sure you know.
Well, yes. Yes, I know that very much.
But it's great to have it back. Suzuki will take ball 1, 1 and 2.
You know, somebody said, fine eating establishment, Remy's.
Yes.
Across the street. Someone said, you know, they saw my face on the 20-foot high TV.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that was a bad luck. High def, not good.
HD is great for sports, not so much for the open.
Yeah, it's good.
One, 2 is lined into left center field. That's in for a base hit. Racing over is Marlon Byrd as Smith heads for third base. He'll be stopped there. Wide turn at first base, and retreating is Suzuki, but it's first and third now, 2 down in the inning.
Yeah, you look at that pitch, it really was a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, just poorly located, right out over the plate, a little bit up, and it just is not where he has to put that pitch. We can't just be focusing on velocity here. It's going to be 92, 93, 94, but it has to be in the right place, and that wasn't.
I want to remind you this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Boston Red Sox, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Boston Red Sox. 2 down in the 4th inning, a run already in for the A's. Runners at first and third for Brandon Inge.
You know, it's interesting going back to that Cespedes hit is also a slider. I think that was only the second slider that has yielded a hit all year long for Bard. That's how effective it's been, but not located in the right place, just like that fastball Suzuki, is not going to work.
From the first and Suzuki back to the bag, lead was not terribly large.
You know, it was amazing that you have a guy like Inge who they picked up off the scrap heap here, and all of a sudden he is your starting third baseman. They've already gone through 2 guys before this, and it kind of shows you how much in flux this team is positionally.
Bluff to third, a look to first, doesn't throw to either venue. Well, Inge, a little defense last inning, getting Dustin Pedroia throwing from foul ground. Has always had a very good arm. Of course, of all the positions he played, at one point was a catcher for the Detroit Tigers, all over. And the Tigers playing all 3 outfield positions, third base.
I think a real nice complementary player for a good team.
Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1.
Can play a lot of different positions, as you mentioned, and playing pretty well. A little bit of pop. But if you're going to rely on him every single day at third base, a power position like that, you're probably going to end up with an offense like the A's have right now, to be honest with you.
Really ran out of room for him in Detroit. After a long time, actually spent time at AAA, sent down last year. As Bard fires to first, but Suzuki back to the bag.
So Bard's done a pretty good job holding runners. One of the things that relief pitchers always have a hard time with is holding runners. You look at how much difficulty it was for Papelbon, for instance, or all closers. But he's done a pretty good job of, it's just one of many, many things that he had to adjust to as a starter.
That is strike 2. I know we're further along now, and Andrew Bailey is closer for the Red Sox when he comes back. Aceves is there now, but are you surprised at all the Red Sox to make more of an effort to keep Jonathan Papelbon here?
No, because really what it would have done, it would have hamstrung you in terms of your budget going forward. 2014, they have to be under $189 million, just like the Yankees are going to be. You do that, you have no chance of signing Lester, you have no chance of signing Ellsbury. It's people don't want to understand that. They want to think, hey, you know what? It's the Red Sox. You have all kinds of money. You should sign him because he's good. But you have to allocate the money to the right places, in places where you feel like, okay, we can't get by here if we don't have this guy. I think that Bailey was close enough, so they said, you know what? We'll just move on. We'll save the money, and we'll approach it that way.
A's have scored here, looking for more as the 2-2 misses, and it is a full count. I want him to check, but so far no check with first base umpire Vic Carapazza. 3-2.
Yeah, that was a big pitch. He had him set up there for the slider, but he just wasn't able to locate it quite well enough. Look right there. That's a pitch he wants him to chase. Inge isn't going to do it.
Mike Sogard waiting on deck. First and third is a 3-2 pitch. Inge will foul it off. I mentioned Jacoby Ellsbury. How hard is it going to be to sign Jacoby Ellsbury? His agent, of course, Scott Boras, and the numbers that he has put up over the last couple of years, despite the injuries.
I think it's going to be tremendously difficult. Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. Even with this injury right now, you're still talking about a guy who's on the field when he's playing. He's going to produce. You looked at that Matt Kemp contract as a jumping off point. That's going to be tough to get done. really not what Barr needed here this inning in terms of pitch count. As I said before, you got through the first 2 innings, 20 pitches. Now your second straight innings of 20 pitches or more. It's not what he's looking for.
21 through 2 innings tonight. Here he is with pitch number 64. And it's on the ground to third base. Middlebrooks took a look at second, but he'll fire across to first to end the inning. The Oakland A's strike first, take a 1-0 lead through 3.5. Or the Sox earn a save. CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Boston Children's Hospital towards their $25,000 donation this season. On to the last half of the 4th inning. The A's have scored first tonight. They have a 1-0 advantage. Adrian Gonzalez, David Ortiz, and Cody Ross out here in the bottom of the 4th. The A's stack it up on the right side into the shift for Adrian Gonzalez, who walked in the first inning.
Yeah, they really have to work the count a little bit better here. They had a really quick inning last inning. They're not doing themselves any favor against McCarthy. But that's what exactly I was talking about earlier with Adrian Gonzalez. You look at that pitch, a lot of guys would have swung at it. A lot of guys, obviously, that's nothing. You can do very little with that pitch. Ball's in the zone. He hits it. Usually it's going to be a good result.
This is sliced foul off to the left out of play, and it's 1-2.
The same time you look at that pitch, Don, and you go back to that first at bat, a couple pitches that he can really handle, and he really just missed him, fouled him off. That was very reminiscent of the pitch in the first at bat where he could have gone the other way when he's going good. That's off the left field ball.
1-2 is high, and it is 2-2. This one is fouled off to the left. We talked about the Oakland A's and their stadium situation. Doesn't seem like there's any resolution yet to their situation. Could they end up in San Jose? Where do you think they end up? But hopefully somewhere other than where they are right now.
I tell you what, the worst ballpark in the major leagues, not even close. And I'm not just talking about the cookies in the press box either.
They're not good?
Well, that's how I gauge everything.
As striking out is Adrian Gonzalez. That's the 3rd strikeout for McCarthy. And Adrian strikes out for the first out of the 4th inning.
Well, look at that 90-mile-an-hour cutter. Just a little behind it. He's just off in what he's doing. You look at those foul balls. You look at that pitch.
5 in a row retired by McCarthy. 1 out for David Ortiz. Grounded out to short in the first inning.
You know, that A's stadium is the only place where they literally have a wrestling mat in back of your head in the press box because you're so cramped. So when you get up,
you don't smoke your head on the ceiling.
Yeah, so it's not a workman's comp situation.
I didn't realize it was that bad.
Yeah, it is that bad. It's terrible.
The conditions are bad. The cookies are bad. Those are two things I didn't think about when thinking about Oakland.
Well, I like what Josh Reddick said. He saw Moneyball for the first time in the plane ride out there. So what I learned is that I don't want to pay $1 for a Coke.
This is on the ground into right. Shift is on for David Ortiz, and a long throw, but gets there in time, and there's 2 away here in the 4th inning. Time now for the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. Home run number 51 for Big Poppy, which broke the Red Sox single season record and Jimmy Fox's old mark. September 21st of 2006. It was off Johan Santana, former teammate of his with the Minnesota Twins. Which David would go on to hit 54 home runs that season. And the throwback uniforms from 1936. Fox was American League MVP. 1938. And at the time set the Red Sox single season home run record with 50 long balls. And the mark that stood until David Ortiz eclipsed it in 2006 with 54. Into the month of April with only 1 home run, which makes it even more amazing. Really picked it up the rest of the season.
Yes, I guess he did. I'd like to ask Dustin Pedroia what I thought of Jimmy Fox. Because his response was probably he hit about 7 home runs in this day and age of baseball. Not
impressed with the past?
No, well, you know.
It's all about the modern baseball player right now.
You know, according to Dustin Pedroia, nobody owned a 4-seam fastball in 1930, which might be true.
So in 1930, there were no laser shows? Is that what you're telling me?
No, he thinks that everything was the Monty Burns straight ball. Every single time. Just right down the middle.
Ross will chop it up the middle, moving over is Pennington. His throw is accurate and in time, and it ends things here in the 4th inning. Red Sox having trouble with McCarthy. The A's have a 1-0 lead. Eastern Bank, listening, guiding, and being there for kids in need. That's what Eastern Bank and Adrian and Betsy Gonzalez are made of, which is why we've teamed up to support youth mentoring programs throughout Massachusetts. To find out more, go to easternbank.com/Adrian. Back at Fenway Park as we get ready for inning number 5, and back on the mound is Daniel Bard. The Oakland A's have a 1-0 advantage over the Red Sox. 9-1-2 coming up for the Oakland A's.
He really has to find an inning here where he gets the pitch count down. He's had a couple in a row here where he's up over 20 each. It's not how he really worked it out. The fact is that you started out, you were pounding the strike zone, you had really good command, then he just kind of lost his way the last couple innings.
Eric Sogard starting tonight at second base, popped out to Mike Aviles, the shortstop, in the third inning.
Another 92-mile-an-hour fastball. You can get by with that. It's not Daniel Bard that we know, but if you put it in the right spot, that's okay, especially against a 9-hitter.
Oakland A's starting tonight, 5.5 games back of the Texas Rangers in the AL West. Game under 500 at 12-13. And so far, the big surprise in the West has been the start for the Angels. This is to right, sending Sweeney back a few steps. He'll reel it in for out number 1 of the 5th inning. Well, it's time now for the answer to tonight's AT&T trivia question. Question tonight was, which two players have hit 50 home runs in a season for the Athletics? And the answer is Jimmy Fox and Mark McGwire. I knew McGwire, but I did not know Jimmy Fox.
Yeah, Jimmy Fox, after Pedroia badmouthed him so much.
That's how we found out.
Yeah, well, no, that's how he fought back. He said, you know what, Pedroia? I'm one of few.
Fox was the first back in 1932, and he had 58. McGwire had 52 in 96. Fox also is one of the two players to have 50 homers in a season with the Red Sox, connecting for 50, as we mentioned, in 1938. Of course, his team record bettered by Big Papi, hitting 54 in 2006. Coco Crisp is 0 for 2. As he takes ball 2, 2-0.
You remember when Coco first joined the Red Sox, really thought that he was going to be exactly what they needed. They had a really interesting top of the order with him, Loretta, Manny, and Ortiz. And he was flying around the bases at spring training. Then he hurts his hand that first week of the season. Just went downhill from there.
In Baltimore, remember the play at third base.
It's just, he can be a very dynamic player when he's healthy, when he's going right. And we saw it, back in the 2007 playoffs where he literally could not get a bunt down. He was going so poorly. Then you flash forward to the next year, and he'd figured a little bit out, playing good defense, got his career back on track.
This is down and in, and it's 3-1.
Bard doesn't seem to be able to locate that slider like he was in the first couple innings. He's certainly not getting the chases that he wants, but he's just not able to actually throw it for strikes at all.
I wonder about the conditions and the temperatures, whether or not that has anything to do with it. He was talking last time in Chicago about having trouble finding the real feel for it because of the weather and conditions in Chicago, which incidentally very similar to tonight.
Yeah, we can't escape it. It's been pretty brutal here. And it's amazing that the Red Sox were able to put up those runs in Chicago like they did in that kind of temperatures.
3-2, slap foul.
But you look at a night like tonight and why you're not going to get the Daniel Bard 97, 98 mile an hour fastball. You kind of wonder, hey, you know what? If you really bear down with that fastball and you take it easy a little bit with the off speed and pick and choose where you're going to do it, it might behoove a little bit. It's the second time you use the word behoove, by the way.
It's a big word, used correctly in a sentence. This is fouled off to the left. As soon as you leave, I'll be using it all the time. I'm looking for new vocabulary for a while now. It's my 12th season, and I'm running out of stuff.
It would behoove you not to wear that jacket, Don.
You're not impressed with this jacket?
I was just trying to use a behoove for the third straight time.
Look to third or look to first. It doesn't behoove him to throw to either base. How about that? That's something else besides venue and locale. 75th pitch coming up. Swing and a miss as Crisp down by way of the K. First strikeout for Bard, 2 down in the 5th. Good pitch at bat, but Bard wins the battle.
There you go. 92 mile an hour fastball, but put in a really, really nice place. Seems to have a little bit of late movement on the fastball tonight as well. We saw that before where low and inside to the lefty hitter, but enough movement to get him to swing and miss.
And 2 down here in the 5th inning for Cliff Pennington. He singled in the first inning. He's had one of the 4 Oakland A's hits in the contest.
It's amazing, Don. We analyze each of the Bard's starts so much. And we say, well, he's doing this, he's not doing that. But at the end of the day, you come away from even that 7-walk outing. You gave up 1 run in 6 2/3, and you would take that from your starting pitcher every time.
Seems to me there has been so much pressure on him from day 1 of spring training. Are you going to make the rotation? Then are you going to go back to the bullpen? Now are you going to stay in the starting rotation? It's never been a comfortable thing for him at any point during the season.
He hasn't let up. You go back to the last start of the spring training against Minnesota, Hammond Stadium.
To first, Gonzalez will flip the Barty, covers, got to hurry up, and he just does get the foot down ahead of Pennington to end the top of the 5th. We're halfway through, and the Oakland A's have a 1-0 lead. Bottom of the 5th inning back at Fenway Park. Red Sox come to bat trailing 1-0. Brandon McCarthy has sent down 7 Red Sox in a row as he starts his 5th inning. 55 pitches deep for the Oakland A's right-hander. Jared Saltalamacchia leads it off and takes ball 1.
Yeah, you look at McCarthy, guy who's gone at least 7 innings in 4 of his 6 starts. This isn't out of the ordinary for him. He's a guy who's going to put the ball in play, a guy who's going to put the ball on the ground.
This is to right field. Reddick is moving over and can't catch it. Look, he had it lined up. It clanks off the glove and he can't grab it. He's on a line. Not sure if he lost it in the lights or not, but he can't make the catch out there in right field.
You know, we saw this a couple times with Reddick last year, where I don't want to say he's a little nonchalant when he goes after it, but clearly it's a play that he should have made. And I remember particularly a game in Pittsburgh. And I think that with Terry Francona really didn't sit well with him at times. And it's something that as he matures as a player, he's going to start making those plays. But right now, I think that might be a hole in this game.
Charged with the error that allowed Saltalamacchia to reach. So Red Sox have the lead runner on for the first time tonight. There's Will Middlebrooks in his second at bat as he takes strike 1 over the outside corner. Sliced foul off to the right. It's 0-2 to Will Middlebrooks. And some tweets tonight from the fans. Excited to see Middlebrooks called up. Certainly a lot of excitement around him during spring training, and he is here. People also happy about the Sox, as you are.
Yeah, I really am. I'm actually wearing a pair myself.
60th pitch. And it was fouled off. 1-2.
But then again, I always wear stirrups.
Just to feel like you're a part of the game.
Yeah.
Sitting in the press box.
Yeah.
Eating cookies.
I never left the game done. The game left me.
Now, I understand that you pitch for the Boston media in the media game, so you do actually play.
Yeah, before I did until my 200 pitch 2-inning stint. It blew out my rotator cuff.
Who's the manager and why are you still in the game? This is grounded towards third. Inge on the run, off balance throw, and it's going to be late. Will Middlebrooks gets his first major league hit. It's an infield hit. In his second plate appearance in the major leagues.
You know, that's the thing that really strikes you about Middlebrooks. We said it before. He's a big guy, but he's an athletic guy. We saw it defensively a little bit, but he can move. He can get down the line, and you really wouldn't expect it, a guy that size.
Well, they get the ball for Middlebrooks, and Kevin Youkilis will fake that he's going to give it away.
Never happened.
First and second, nobody out. Marlon Byrd, the batter. Red Sox have something going here in the fifth. First time since the first inning they've had two men on. And the bunt drop down the third baseline, foul.
It was interesting. We haven't seen too many of these situations with Bobby Valentine. And we're looking at what type of manager he is and how he's going to approach a game. But here we are in the fifth inning. You obviously have a close game, a pitcher who looks like he's going to be in the game for a little bit, who's very effective. And he goes with a bunt there. It's not surprising, but it is interesting because in the past, I think sometimes the way that Terry Francona handled it was go for the double, go for the extra base hit.
We saw a lot in spring training, everything from stealing home to suicide squeezes to safety squeezes, and really at the end of spring training is this one is fouled off. Talked to Bobby about that. I said, how much of that are we going to see during the regular season? He said, probably very little.
Yeah.
And I said, whoa, wait a minute. we saw a bunch of it during the spring. We figured this is the way it's going to be. And he said, well, it's not the way our roster is really comprised. We don't have the same guys that we used to do that during spring training.
Yeah, you know, it's when you get into the Morrow Gomez and the Nate Spears and
yes, that's what Siriaco was doing. Nate Spears was doing it.
If they end up with that team on the field, you're going to see a lot of that.
Oh, yeah.
But when you have this type of team and this type of bats, you're probably not going to.
It's a whole different thing. And we've seen none of it really during the regular season.
And now we evidently saw why. Because they can't.
Now an 0-2, and Byrd fouls it back.
Well, that's tough, though. That drives me up the wall in terms of when a guy can't get a bunt down. And I know McCarthy has a ball that he's throwing cutters and he's throwing two-seamers. It's moving a lot. It's easy for me to say, but still, as a major league, you got to get the bunt down. And you lose games it's because of instances like that. People might forget about it, but it's a big play at the time.
Byrd lifts a fly ball to right field. Reddick has it sized up now, has to come in, and he makes the catch. No advance for the base runners as we check in with Jenny Dell.
Don, the authenticated 1912 Red Sox uniforms worn by the team on April 20th for the 100th anniversary game have been autographed and are now being auctioned on RedSox.com to benefit the Red Sox Foundation. And for your chance to own one of these historic uniforms, visit RedSox.com/throwback. And Don, I think it'll behoove you to check out that website.
All right.
Well played, Jenny.
Nice. One out in the fifth inning. Runners at first and second. Mike Aviles, the batter, 0 for 2. It's lined out to right, popped out to second base.
Aviles has been very, very effective for runners in scoring position. Obviously, he's hit the ball well all year long, but particularly with runners in scoring position, has been really good.
That's with Saltalamacchi at second, Middlebrooks at first, and one away. That's on the corner, and it's 1-1.
And by good, I mean 556 good.
That's pretty good.
Last time I checked, that was good. This is a big moment here in this game. You look at a pitch. Again, a pitcher who's probably going to go deep in this game, who's been very, very effective. They've having a hard time with. You got to make sure you take advantage of the opportunities when you have them.
This Suzuki tried to bring it back to the corner, but it's outside. They've stayed away. There are the numbers you were talking about. 5:56. Red Sox are 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position in tonight's game. Just 2 for 12 in last night's contest. Vilas grounds it by McCarthy towards Sogard. He will throw to first base. They get the out there. No throw to second. And the Red Sox lucky to stay out of a double play scenario there. There are 2 outs in the inning.
2 poor plays, I think, really on the Oakland defense side right there. First of all, McCarthy has to field this ball. You have an easy double play. And then you have Middlebrook slowing down a little bit. There was very, very good base running on his behalf, but still, if you're Oakland, you got to make this throw right here. You still haven't probably dead to rights, I think, at second. Looked like he was safe.
Yeah, looked like a Vilas man beating it out. Vic Carapazza says he is out, and it is second and third with 2 outs now and a chance for Ryan Sweeney. Now one crowds him inside. Sweeney doubled in the first inning, grounded out in the third. He has one of only 2 Boston hits on the night.
As I said, you have to be able to take advantage of moments like this. Obviously, McCarthy has his good stuff. He's locating. Even the times they're getting on base, they're not really hard hit balls.
That's a strike, 1-1.
You know, you wonder if Ryan Sweeney has kind of found his niche, don't you, in major leagues? Maybe not playing all the time, picking his spots, sort of a platoon player.
The A's have to be looking at his production and thinking how good he would still be on their team. It's out to right center, falling fast, says Pettis. Coming in to make the catch, and out of the jam is McCarthy. The Red Sox strand a pair in scoring position. We are through 5. It's 1-0 Oakland. Eastern Bank. At Eastern Bank, we made it historic milestones, and now our home team has reached one of its own. Congratulations on this special anniversary from one Boston institution to another. Top of the 6th inning, 1-0. The Oakland A's on top. Red Sox coming off their best opportunity to score of the game as they strand 2 in scoring position in the 5th inning. They've stranded 5 through first 5 innings and Josh Reddick is 0 for 2 as he leads it off for the A's. Red Sox could not take advantage of the error committed by Josh Reddick out in right field that began the bottom of the 5th inning.
You know, a lot of relievers were praising Reddick the other night when he fell into the bullpen, how he was able to duck his head and go to a 4 to roll almost instantly.
This is sent foul. It was an impressive bid, and he did get some glove on it.
Yeah, he almost actually caught the ball.
Yes.
But what you can't see there, evidently he did I'm trying to remember the girl's name, Retton. Going back to 84 Olympics. Mary Lou Retton.
Gymnast?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Scott Atchison was very impressed by his skill of going into a tumble and popping up.
I did a couple radio interviews this morning, and all anybody wanted to talk about was the mouth guard that Josh Reddick has that is on display all the time.
I thought you were going to go to a Mary Lou Retton segue.
No. But when he came up from the bullpen, he's just swinging a foul tip.
It is somewhat surprising. Some players do use that, obviously, but the fact is that he has this habit of just chewing on it.
Yeah, here it is. Let me ask you this. There's not a lot of contact going on.
No.
I mean, what are the purposes?
Well, that's clearly for when a fan runs on the field so he can tackle him.
This one is fouled off. 3-2.
I think Manny Ramirez had a mouth guard.
He did.
He had a lot of stuff going on, though.
He does.
BP, he's wearing the iPod.
(3-2) is softly lined into left center field. That'll get in for a base hit. Over is Ross to cut it off. Wide turn for Reddick, but he's aboard. Leadoff single to begin things here in the 6th inning.
Boy, a nice piece of hitting by Reddick. You look at he really stayed on that slider. He's out in front, as a lot of these hitters are, sitting on the fastball, but he's able to take advantage of where the pitch was, go the other way with a really nice piece of hitting.
Pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. Daniel Bard, 5+5 hits, 1 run. He's walked 2, struck out a batter in that pitch count, up to 85 pitches with nobody out in the 6th inning. Yoenis Cespedes is 1 for 2, doubled and scored. Game's only run, and it's a high fly ball to center field, playable for Marlon Byrd. He'll make the catch for the first out of the 6th inning. Well, in honor of Fenway's centennial this year, Beth Israel Deaconess, the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox, is offering a daily health tip to help you live to be 100. Sign up at 100pitches.org. 1 on, 1 out, and it brings up Seth Smith. He drove in Cespedes in the 4th inning for the game's only run.
Bard's gone to slider a couple straight times here. See if he stays with it. He hasn't really got the chases on it that he has in the last few games.
Fastball lifted to left, and Ross to the corner. Can't make the catch. Kind of overran it. It went behind him, and trying to score from first base is Reddick. Throw will be cut off, and the run is in for the A's. They take a 2-0 lead on a play that is misplayed by Ross out in left field. That wind blowing it from left to right, it appeared, and it came back and actually ended up behind him.
Yeah, Ross, who's typically a pretty good outfielder out there, you don't see him do that a whole bunch. But one of the problems that he has had in the past in his career is going back on balls against the wall. He was pretty good in spring training about it, but obviously has some problems there.
I think the conditions are a little different here, too, than what they were at JetBlue Park.
Yes, I would agree with that. It's funny, though, and I don't disagree with maybe the wind had something to do with it, but you look at the flag right now, pretty still flag. Also a good job by Reddick of base running there, of anticipating what was going on.
Reddick comes all the way around to score the 2nd run. Is Keila Kaiahui was walked and popped out.
Yeah, just looking at that replay with Ross, it really looked like he was having a hard time gauging where the wall was. From our angle, at first I thought it was he had overrun it, and that was the biggest problem. But I think he had a little more room than he anticipated.
And it leads to the second Oakland run of the night. This is rip foul out ahead. Ruled a double for Seth Smith, his second hit and second RBI.
There you see. He did overrun it a little bit, but I still think that he might have misjudged how much room that he had to go into the wall. And again, this is one of the problems that he's had in years past, where going back on balls, the advanced defensive metrics have shown that Cody Ross maybe isn't great at that. But in spring training, as you said, which is a little different climate than here, but he did show a pretty good ability to judge that wall using JetBlue Park.
Kaiahui takes that pitch outside, and it is 1-2 with Smith at second base. One out here in the sixth inning. The A's on top 2-0.
What a swing there, Don, though. Huh? I mean, the fact that you look at the pitch count now, you're up to 90 pitches with Bard. He had seemed to have settled down a little bit, found some command, got some quick outs.
Stirring in the pen, but nobody up yet for the Red Sox in the bullpen. 1-2 is fouled off.
If we look at the Bard outing right now, it's still a very, very good outing, but you have these results which are kind of bizarre. You don't have a lot of hard hit balls. You have some maybe mistimed pitches. You had some innings that, okay, you threw more pitches that you wanted. It's uneven because everything's under a microscope with Bard, but at the end of the day, would you take 2 runs over 6 innings?
Absolutely.
I think so.
One-two, line to right field, and this is trouble as it heads down towards the corner. Seth Smith will come around from second base and score. Kaiahui into second base with an RBI double, and the Oakland A's take a 3-0 lead. Bob McClure will come out of the dugout. So far, no one has been warming, but somebody will be here very soon.
You know, you look at this pitch, a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, just in a terrible spot, right out over the plate. Velocity isn't the key here. We've said it time and time again. 92, 93, you can get by, but you can't throw it in the heart of plate like that, because exactly what happened would happen.
Well, immediately following the game, stay with us for WB Mason's Extra Innings Live with TC and Jenny. We'll have a breakdown of Daniel Bard's outing, including his take on tonight's performance. Plus, catch manager Bobby Valentine's thoughts on the series finale from the Fenway interview room. It's all coming up right after the game on WB Mason Extra Innings Live. Now, action in the Red Sox pen finally, as up in the pen is Matt Albers. Kurt Suzuki, the batter, 1 for 2. Grounded out in the second. Singled in the fourth as he takes strike one.
That's a good pitch right there by Bard. He has to settle down. He's had a couple things go against him right there. Comes back with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball exactly where he wants to put it. He has to regain his composure, start finding the location he had in the previous, really at the beginning of the inning.
Suzuki on a check swing. Did he go? They check. Yes, he did, says Vic Carapazza.
And that's the slider that he really was looking for. He's looking to get some chases. Oakland hasn't done it to this point. That was one of the few times he's gotten one of those. I'm not so sure he went around either time, to be perfectly honest with you.
This time Carapazza says he did, and it is 0-2.
Clearly he was intimidated by when you threw up your arms at him before.
Yeah, I think he saw me the first time. That one has Suzuki turning his head out of the way on a pitch up. 1-2. Well, the A's, who got a run in the fourth inning, get 2 here so far in the sixth inning and lead it 3-0.
Bard's up to 95 pitches right now, only 57 strikes. You've got to have a better strike percentage than that, really.
Suzuki gets hit on the hand, it appeared, and he goes down. Clear they want to stay inside. Missed him the first time. Hit him on the hand the second time, and he's in a lot of pain.
He might get him in the left hand.
Second batter that Bard has hit this season. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that cannot feel good. It goes back to the Bard. You start out the at bat. You have a nice fastball right where you want to put it, right on the outside corner, but then you lost your location.
Well, next half inning, we will check in on the Seattle Mariners Tampa Bay Rays and get an update for you from Tom Caron. The Rays, of course, without Evan Longoria for some time, and that is certainly going to hurt the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, but you have that kind of pitching.
Yes,
you can get through something like that. There's no mistake about it. I mean, they were built on that pitching staff, especially those starting pitchers. And their offense, Longoria is a plus. There's no doubt about it. One of the best hitters in the game. But still, with Tampa, they're going to be in it as long as those pitchers pitch like they have been. You know, Bard has to realize, and I'm sure he does, is that you're still in this game here. You get out of this inning 3-0 through 6 innings, and you have to collect yourself. You have to rediscover that command that he's had at the beginning of the inning.
Suzuki's going to stay in the game for now and run the bases as he heads down to first base.
We saw this in spring training in some of the earlier starts. When he gets in a situation like this is where he broke out his two-seamer a little bit, something that he really wasn't using that much as a reliever, and he got out of some tough jams with a double play ball. Let's see if he goes back with it.
Two on, one away, and Brandon Inge is the batter. He walked in the third inning, grounded out to third in the fourth. And that'll drop in there for strike one.
Throw a lot of sliders tonight. It's been very effective, and he knows that, but Oakland hasn't had the same reaction some of the other teams have.
Pitch will miss, and the count is 1-1. Tried to hold up and did, as home plate umpire Manny Gonzalez will not check, and it is 2-1.
Another example. This is probably a situation where he's really going to have to locate a good fastball. If he's going to rear back on a fastball and locate one, it's going to be right now.
Action count of 2-1. We'll see if the runners do anything. They do not, and there's a strike over the outside corner. 2-2.
Went back to the slider.
Second time that he has thrown 100 pitches.
See if he goes back to the slider, try to get him to chase.
Driven to left center, and this is going to get through a gapper. From second base, Kaihui will score. Suzuki will be stopped at third. It's an RBI double for Brandon Inge. And a fastball from Bard that is sent to the gap in left center field, and the Oakland A's take a 4-0 lead. Here comes Bobby Valentine. Turns out to be a 3-run 6th inning so far for the Athletics. 4-0 Oakland with a pitching change from Fenway. Sox Bart chased from the game after 5 1/3 innings, still responsible for the runners at second and third for the Oakland A's. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by New England Ford Dealers, as Matt Albers checks into the game for the Red Sox, first out of the bullpen tonight. Albers makes an appearance in his 10th game of the year. No record of 1.93 earned run average. He's worked in 9 1/3, and opponents hitting at .257 against Albers. Through the last inning and a third innings of last night's game against the Oakland A's, gave up 1 hit and no runs, and a season high 2 strikeouts. And he comes in here with runners at second and third and 1 out in the 6th inning. It's already been a 3-run inning for the A's, who lead it 4-0.
Yeah, you look at Bart's outing, it's really uneven type of situation, and you look at how it ended. 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Just wasn't going to get that swing and miss. This isn't the 98-mile-an-hour fastball. It was poorly located, and Inch took advantage of it.
Infield in with runners at second and third. Sogard takes ball 1.
So we come back to it. I mean, you're still in the game here. With the type of lineup the Red Sox have, you're still in the game. Moments like this are important. Just like we go back to when the Red Sox were at bat, not being able to push across those runs against a pitcher who really have had your number throughout the game was a key moment.
Sliced foul, 1-1. It's been a 21-minute wait for Brandon McCarthy, who will be dealing with the heart of the Red Sox order in the last of the 6th inning. Pedroia, Gonzalez, and Ortiz. Been waiting a while in there, but his team has given him a 4-run pad at the moment and looking for more now. Sogard fouls off another 1-2.
You know, you look at the hits that Oakland had against Bard. The Cespedes hit was a pretty hard hit ball, and the Inge ball was a pretty hard hit. Other than that, you had a lot of swings where they were out in front of it. You're going the other way with sliders and off-speed stuff. So they took advantage of it. There's no question about it. But you can't make mistakes like he did when there's very little room for error at all.
And the troubling thing more than anything else is you're dealing with a relatively light hitting lineup in this Oakland A's team. You hope to take advantage of this part of the schedule.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you're doing them a bunch of favors when you have the play like Ross made in left field. And Bard lost his command after that, went downhill from there.
1-2 is in the dirt, and it is 2-2. The news today before the game, in case you missed it, Aaron Cook will be activated on Saturday and make a start against the Baltimore Orioles. And perhaps the bigger news was that Josh Beckett will skip a turn in the rotation. With the lat problem for Beckett, we're the first we have heard of that.
Yeah.
There's a 2-2, and did he go? They'll check. No, he did not. Full count.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to talk to Beckett before the game, but the lat isn't too concerning as long as it's not an oblique, as long as it's not a shoulder. It shouldn't be something that sidelines him a long time. If it's a sore lat, then you probably can deal with that, and you just miss the one start.
There is strike 3. Big strikeout there for Albers. Needed that as he comes into the game and strikes out Sogard. 2 down.
It is a big strikeout. But now you can't let up on things. You really have to get out of this jam. 4 runs is manageable for the Red Sox with the kind of lineup they have. Albers did a good job there.
2 down, back up top for Coco Crisp. It's been an 0-for-3 night for Crisp. He's grounded out to second base, flied out to left, and struck out swinging.
He's hitting under 200, but still a dangerous hitter. We've seen it time and time again here, and really he hasn't had a chance to get going, having missed already 8 games this year.
Swing and a miss at a high fastball, 93 miles an hour. Foul tipped it into the catcher's mitt.
Boy, late on that, huh? 94.
No batting gloves for Coco Crisp. As Kurt Suzuki's at third, Brandon Inge at second. 2 outs in the Oakland 6th inning. On the ground, back to Albers. He will toss softly to first for the out. Nicely done by Matt Albers. Comes in and gets out of a jam. The A's score 3 times. Take a 4-0 lead. Coil for Ness and Daly, presented by Sunlight Financial. We'll have a full rundown of the Saints Bounty Gate player suspensions. The Globe's Gary Washburn will be in studio to preview Celtics-Hawks Game 3 as the series shifts to Boston, plus a look back at the life and career of Junior Seau. All this and much more on Ness and Daly tonight after our Red Sox coverage. It's only on Nesson. Well, the Oakland A's score 3 times in the top half of the 6th inning and take a 4-0 advantage over the Red Sox. A 27-minute wait for Brandon McCarthy, who's pitched very well tonight. He stymied the Red Sox through the first 5 innings and allowed only 2 hits. Red Sox have been out hit 8-2, and comes Pedroia, Gonzalez, and Ortiz in the 6th inning. A big inning for McCarthy to try to get a shutdown inning here after his team has given him a 4-0 advantage.
Yeah, 72 pitches. You have to start working the count a little bit, start getting the pitch count up. His high for this year is 113 pitches, but typically he's right around 100 in the 7-inning outings.
Here's strike 1 to Pedroia. Dustin has flied out to the warning track in left field and has grounded out to third base.
I'll go back to it. McCarthy really a few years ago really looked like a pitcher who had lost his way, totally reinvented himself, and we're seeing it tonight.
He's quickly ahead 0-2. Just remember him with great power as a member of the Chicago White Sox, and wondering if he would be their closer of the future.
Yeah, we heard a lot about different roles he was going to have, top of the rotation, closer, because he had that type of stuff. He doesn't have that type of stuff anymore. He's still a 93-mile-an-hour guy, max, but still, we saw it tonight. He's working in and out. He's become more of a pitcher.
Pedroia lunging to get a piece. There's more action in the Red Sox pen. Clayton Mortensen, who came over in the Marco Scutaro deal from the Colorado Rockies, was called up today, and he's warming in the pen.
Mortensen had been starting a little bit for the Boss Sox, but he hadn't pitched in a few days. He is obviously available now.
1-2. I think he went. He did. Home plate umpire Manny Gonzalez isn't even going to check. He's just going to ring him up, and Pedroia with things to say. Strikeout number 4 for McCarthy. 1 down in the 6th inning.
Yeah, the Red Sox are just getting a little frustrated here, as we can see with Pedroia. The umpire was right. He did go. But that's what McCarthy's been doing. He's been doing it for the last 2 years. Look at it, you say, well, his stuff isn't that great. It certainly isn't what it used to be, but I'll say it again. He's become more of a pitcher. We saw it there, getting Pedroia to chase.
Adrian Gonzalez has walked and struck out, and Pedroia is still frustrated from his at bat.
The one thing, Don, I think that kind of goes under the radar with this Red Sox lineup is the importance of Kevin Youkilis. And everyone gets so enamored with Middlebrooks and the kind of potential and how the pieces that they have in this lineup. But you look at when they've not had Kevin Youkilis this year, they really haven't done much. And he's a huge, huge part of this lineup in terms of protecting guys.
Not only that, generally he sees a lot of pitches and can contribute in driving up the pitch count for a start.
Absolutely, absolutely. You look at it when he was out last year, how they were pitching David Ortiz different, how they pitch all these guys different. And he's a legit middle of the order hitter in baseball, which is one of the biggest commodities you can have.
1-2 is fouled off. Protective swing by Gonzalez. The Yankees are trailing tonight 4-0 to the Orioles. Again, 7th inning. Orioles have the lead there tonight.
You can't stop the Orioles.
They're on fire.
They are on fire.
They are 15-9 to start tonight's action. One of the Tampa Bay Rays with a better record. The American League East Rays are 16-8.
I'm going to put my money on the Rays in that battle.
You think in the end they've got a little bit more than the Orioles do?
The Orioles, yes.
It's outside, 2-2.
The Dan Duquette Newt Rockne speech at the beginning of the year only lasts for about a month. That's it.
Working right now.
Yeah, well, you know, listen, you get on the wooden stool.
Two is right back, and McCarthy knocks it down. It's time to recover, and does barely. He throws it into the dirt. Let's check in with Tom Caron for a game break. TC. All right, TC, thanks very much. Back here at Fenway Park, the Oakland A's have a 4-0 lead. We have breaking news. Mark Pryor has signed a minor league contract today with the Red Sox. He's not pitched in the majors since
2006.
2006 was the last time that he pitched in the majors. He will start extended spring training games pitching out of the bullpen for the Red Sox. It's been a long time.
I would not have guessed 2006.
No, I was doubting the number, to be honest with you.
Never doubt the numbers.
I doubted the number.
But you know, it's another example of pitching depth. You have Ohlendorf, you have obviously Andrew Miller, who we haven't talked about a little bit, who might be coming up soon. Cook, obviously, and this is a reason why there was a lot of interest in Aaron Cook from other teams, who he could have slipped right into their starting rotation. But the Red Sox understood the importance of hanging on to a guy like that.
What do you think the willingness of Aaron Cook, if he makes the one start, is to go to the bullpen after that?
Probably not his preference, but he's on a major league team. He's under contract, and this is what it has to be for a time being. We don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what we've seen it with Beckett, the Beckett situation. Even a couple days ago, if you said, "Hey, Josh Beckett's going to be sidelined, Aaron Cook's going to take his place," no one would have thought that.
You also have 20 games in 20 days and a chance really to have a sixth starter mixed in there.
Absolutely.
Red Sox have a very tough stretch. They have tomorrow off, but after that it's 20-20. And it's 2-2.
I was a little skeptical of the Aaron Cook bullpen straight out. This is what he's going to be argument, because why the Red Sox bullpen still kind of finding their way. There were pieces there where they're more valuable than Aaron Cook. Even a Tazawa or an Atchison, they have their roles. They know how to pitch out of the pen. Aaron Cook would have been a work in progress, which you probably couldn't pitch on back-to-back days.
Cody Ross on deck. 2 outs here in the 6th inning. 90th pitch coming up for McCarthy. Ortiz skies one to left field. That is back. Crisp looking up, and it is off the wall. Chris plays the carom. Big Poppy headed for second base, and he will get there on the slide. A wall ball double with 2 outs in the 6th inning. David taking it the other way with authority.
Boy, by Coco's reaction, I thought it was gone. Does a great job of going the other way. We've seen it time and time again from David this year. The fact is that you take that pitch, he's not trying to turn it over, he's not rolling over on the ball, he's taking it the other way. That's why he has such a high average. That's why he had such a successful April.
So a double here with 2 down in the inning. Snaps a stretch of 5 in a row retired by McCarthy. And it brings up Cody Ross, who's done the same thing twice. He's grounded out to the A's shortstop Cliff Pennington on 2 occasions. And a foul tip into the catcher's mitt for strike 1.
You know, and I mentioned Adrian Gonzalez, how good he is about hitting balls in the strike zone, and how last year in the major leagues there was no one better, hitting over 400 on balls in the strike zone. For Ortiz this year, that's been a key, especially against lefties. He's identified the right pitches to hit. That was another case. He got a pitch he could hit, and he took advantage of it.
Nothing else. The Red Sox have driven up the pitch count for McCarthy here in the 6th inning. First 20-pitch inning of his outing. Going with the 4th batter of this inning. Just outside, 2-1.
You look at the importance of getting McCarthy out of this game, because obviously Bout 4, you wouldn't think he would be available after what he went through. That's their closer. It really thins out that bullpen, a bullpen that's really not formidable anyway.
Pitching line brought to you by Lexus. So far, no runs for the Red Sox. 2 outs in the 6th inning. Breaking ball had him ducking for cover. That really fooled him, and it's 3-1.
Almost a strike. Not that close, but you got the ball. That's all that counts. You fooled the umpire, Cody.
Ross will pop it up. Right side of the A's infield. From second comes Sogard. Sogard makes the catch that ends the 6th inning. It's been a frustrating night for the Red Sox. Frustrating night for Justin Pedroia. Through 6, the A's have a
It's not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated. And here's the Daniel Bard just not locating that fastball. 92-mile-an-hour fastball, just not in the right spot. Same thing, 92-mile-an-hour fastball. It's all right if you don't have the velocity, but the location was just not where Bard wanted to be tonight. That was the biggest difference for him.
Those are the last 3 hits that he gave up before departing this game. He's been charged with all 4 runs the Oakland A's have. It's 4-0 Athletics as we head to top half of the 7th inning. And in his Red Sox debut into the game is Clayton Mortensen in the trade for Marco Scudero, coming over from the Colorado Rockies. And in 6 games with the Paw Sox was 2-2 with a 0.90 earned run average. Opponent sitting at 143 against Mortensen. After Matt Albers had come in a 2nd and 3rd 1-out situation in the 6th inning, did a very good job. Got Sogard to strike out and got Coco Crisp to ground out, so he got out of that jam and preserves what is a 4-run deficit, with the A's coming to bat now in the 7th.
A great job by Albers of getting out of that. If they come back, that'll be a key moment in this game. They go to Mortensen. Mortensen's an interesting guy. Obviously, they make the Scudero trade. A big reason was to free up money to sign a Cody Ross. This guy has some talent, and he said that one of the biggest differences is that they're letting him be the kind of pitcher that he wants to be. He felt in Colorado they kind of limited his herky-jerky delivery a little bit, trying to reel him in. He said that the Red Sox have let him go back to the delivery that he likes, and he said it makes a world of difference for him.
He was ahead 0-2. Cliff Pennington leading it off here in the 7th.
Here's a changeup from him. Pretty good pitch. Good location.
Listed at 6'4", 185 pounds. He is 27 years old.
You know, it might be the case where we're just seeing Mortensen for a few days here. If Cook comes back, that could be very well the case unless they decide to send Iglesias down. But this is an opportunity to show the type of value he has, maybe even for later in the year.
This is ripped right back where it came from and into center field. A ringing single for Cliff Pennington. Comes up with his 2nd base hit of the night.
Yeah, you have an 88-mile-an-hour fastball here, and location isn't terrible, but when you're coming off velocity of both Bard and Albers, both who are living around 94, that's a big difference.
So lead runner on here for the Athletics, and it brings up Josh Reddick, who singled his last time up and got the rally started in the 6th inning. They scored 3 times in the 6th, did the A's. 1 for 3 night for the former Red Sox outfielder.
And one of the pitches that Mortensen said it was working for him is a 2-seamer. He could really use a ground ball here, so see if he pounds that strike zone with something like that.
Mortensen's career started with St. Louis. The trade to the Red Sox. It's the 3rd trade that he has been a part of. Part of the deal from Oakland. It brought Matt Holliday to the Cardinals. This is in the dirt and gets away from Saltalamacchia. Pennington will go to 2nd and get there with ease. Nice job by Aviles to knock that down before it got to the outfield. Kind of an off-balance throw from Saltalamacchia, and ill-advised at that point.
Yeah, I think so. He's really had no chance at that play when Saltalamacchia went to get it. There's a couple pitches by Mortensen that really have missed a spot. Poor location on it. He has to have a little bit of nerves going. On top of the weather, it can't be that easy for him.
Wild pitch charge to Mortensen as Franklin Morales warms up in the pen behind him. BostonGlobe.com. It's everything you love about the Globe, now available on every device. For home delivery subscribers, unlimited access is always available, but it's free for everyone until Sunday, courtesy of Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage. 1-1 pitch coming to Reddick. And he'll slap it foul off to the left, 1-2.
Another good changeup from Mortensen. Right now, of the pitches that he's throwing, clearly the changeup is a pitch he has the most command of right now. There it is. Little up, but still outside corner. Reddick can't do a whole lot with that.
Reddick with a swing and a miss, strikes out. The breaking ball there gets Reddick, and it's the first out of the 7th inning.
Yeah, he set that up very, very nicely. You go with a changeup, outside corner, comes back with a slider, perfectly located right on the outside there. Well executed by Mortensen.
So runner at second, one down. Yoenis Cespedes stands in. And a double back in the 4th inning, a 1-for-3 night for the Oakland A's.
We've seen him 3 games now. What's your impression of Cespedes?
So far, I haven't seen a lot. To be
Yeah.
honest, he's got a lot of power. Seems like he is continuing to work at the plate. He has 5 home runs coming into the series and 20 RBIs. Had a couple in this series. You wonder about his center field play. I don't think he's as good defensively in center field as Coco Crisp is. But you see what the potential is.
Well, he's leg pressing 1,000 pounds.
That
Two
was more
guys on top.
impressive. I mean, I think the video is more impressive than anything I've seen in the series.
If he could do that while fielding a ball in center field,
Yeah.
I would compare him to Bo Jackson like Peter did.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen that kind of power yet. I mean, he looks to be very strong, but everything that he has hit so far in the series, we haven't seen all that much power yet.
Yeah.
Probably a very unfair sample.
Yeah, you know, I think he's starting to cut down on his strikeouts a little bit, but that's going to be the biggest concern going forward. He can't be an all or nothing guy. But it is interesting, you know, Oakland went on a limb for him. There's no other team was going to offer him the kind of guaranteed money that they gave him.
I mean, what does that tell you? Is there a strike 3? Takes a look at that back-to-back Ks for Mortensen. He battles back after the single to begin the inning.
There's another really good changeup. Obviously, we haven't seen a lot of Mortensen. We really didn't even see a lot of him in spring training, to be honest with you. And so this is a first impression that we're getting of him. Changeup's very, very good. Mislocated a couple fastballs, but changeup seems to be working for him tonight.
2 down, and Seth Smith, the batter, the DH. He came into this game hitting at 194, and he's been a big player for the Oakland A's tonight. Their DH is 2 for 3, 2 hits, and 2 runs batted in. And a swing and a miss for strike 1. Saltalamacchia popping up like he was going to fire to second base.
It's another one. Hey, they haven't stolen third tonight, Don.
No, maybe they will.
Well, you know, odds are good.
Saw 2 last night, and Pennington out to his lead at second base.
He's really riding that changeup, I'll tell you what.
If it's working, go
I
with
guess
it.
so, you know. Well, I mean, the other part about this is Saltalamacchia has probably a very limited experience with Mortensen in spring training. That was the only time he caught him. So he sees how effective it is. So that's the pitch he's going to go with.
Smith will ground it down the first baseline. It is a fair ball. Adrian Gonzalez will play it. Tags the bag to end the inning. 7th inning stretch from Fenway. It's 4-0. The A's have the lead. Let's check in with your need to know. The NESN Daily presented by Sun Life Financial. Here's Jamison Coyle. 4-0. The Oakland A's on top of the Red Sox as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Red Sox have work to do. Jared Saltalamacchia on his 27th birthday leads it off for the Red Sox here in the 7th. He struck out in the 2nd inning, reached on an error by the right fielder Josh Reddick in the 5th inning. Now goes to left as Crisp heads back. This will be off the base of the wall. Crisp gets it back in quickly and holds Saltalamacchia to a long single to begin things in the 7th inning.
You know, 2 pretty good bats by Saltalamacchia. I know we focused on Reddick dropping the ball last time, but he hit the ball hard. In this case, goes with the pitch perfectly, just like you wanted. Thought he might go for 2. Coco doesn't have a great arm, and I got to be honest with you, that's the best throw I've seen Coco make in a long time.
So lead runner on here for the Red Sox in the 7th inning. Will Middlebrooks on his first major league hit in his last at bat. The infield hit. He's been on twice tonight in his major league debut. He walked, stole a base in the 2nd, and then the infield hit in the 5th.
Yeah, seeing a lot of pitches, which is smart. Saw the 4-pitch walk to begin the game.
That's a strike, and it's 1-1.
You know, Middlebrooks isn't totally unfamiliar with McCarthy. They actually work out together in the offseason at the Athletes Performance Facility in Dallas. So knows him a little bit.
Line to right for Middlebrooks. It'll get in and head towards the corner. Saltalamacchia is headed for 3rd base. He will be stopped there. Will Middlebrooks with his first extra base hit in the major leagues. A double. Well, look at the night for Will Middlebrooks, taking the field with the Red Sox in the majors for the first time. Make a nice defensive play. His first chance and only chance. That was in the 2nd inning. And after walking, he steals 2nd base. First stolen base in the majors. And his first hit was an infield hit. Brandon Inge tried to get him, but could not at first base. And they'll get that baseball for him. And he has just doubled here in the 7th inning to give the Red Sox 2nd and 3rd with nobody out in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Yeah, you talk to the Red Sox player development people, and one of the things that they say about Middlebrooks is the difference between last year and this year are hits exactly like he executed there. Going the other way with it. Not just a pull hitter like he was early in his career. Did a great job with that pitch.
So 2 on and nobody out here for the Red Sox. Here is Marlon Byrd, who has struck out swinging and flied out to right.
McCarthy 2 times this year he's been up over 100 pitches. This is a 3rd.
Oakland A's pen appears to be busy as a tapper foul. We have seen a lot of this guy in this series. He's back up again, Jordan Alberto.
Yeah, I was talking to some of the Red Sox players about some of their relievers. They identify Noberto as really a guy they're impressing. Did you catch the ball that was thrown by the bullpen catcher over his head last night?
Yes, went into the crowd.
He didn't even react.
No, not at all. He just got a new baseball and going back to work.
Yeah, he's in the zone.
He was locked in. I thought I was seeing things. I mean, it was that quick that the catcher just went flying by him into the stands. He just got another ball and just kept going.
Almost decapitated the 3 people,
yes.
But it didn't seem to faze him.
Didn't bother him at all.
There's work to do.
Saltalamacchia at 3rd. Middlebrooks at 2nd. Nobody out in the 7th. One and 2.
This is where we talked a little bit about before, the 9 spots in this order, how Byrd has kind of solidified this. He's hit just enough to make it viable to get to the top of the order, get back into the meat of the order for the Red Sox. That wasn't the case when they moved Aviles up. They had some real problems there.
1-2 is to left field, sending Crisp back. He will get there to make the catch. Tagging is Saltalamacchia. Throw is cut off, and the Red Sox are on the board. So Marlon Byrd is retired on a sac fly to left, but the Red Sox get a run, and it's now 4-1 Oakland.
Yeah, good job by Byrd there, just getting the job done. Hitting the ball hard, just hard enough to get the run home.
And you talked about the arm of Coco Crisp.
Oh my goodness, I take it all back.
Saltalamacchia able to score with ease, and the Red Sox get their first run of the night. Middlebrooks at second base for Micah Vilas, who is 0 for 3 in the game tonight against Brandon McCarthy.
Coco could have hit the dirt on that. That's the least he could do. He didn't make it.
Vilas is lined out to right, popped out to second, grounded out to second.
We noticed this a couple times with the Vilas at bats where they really try to get him to chase off the outside edge, and he's not doing it.
There's a strike, and it evens at 1-1. Alberto has been joined now by Ryan Cook, who we've seen in this series, a right-hander.
I got to imagine Fuentes is their guy to close out the game today.
Did a good job of it last year in the absence of Andrew Bailey in the first 2 months. Very similar to this year. Bailey beginning the year on the DL. We're back outside again for ball 2. Ryan Sweeney waiting on deck. 1 out in the Boston 7th inning. Vilas to pop it up. Down from third is Inge. Out is Suzuki, and the catcher puts it away in fair ground for the 2nd out of the 7th inning.
Well, good job by McCarthy there. Fools of Vilas on an 81-mile-an-hour curveball. Way out in front, pops it up. Big pitch for him.
Well over his average at the moment. The high is 113, and he's got 2 outs in the 7th inning. Ryan Sweeney, the batter, he doubled back in the 1st inning. Sets in a ground out and a fly out. Former Oakland A. Down and in for ball 1.
Got to imagine if Sweeney's able to get a hit here, you might be able to drive McCarthy from the game.
And Dustin Pedroia waiting on deck. Outside for ball 2. Red Sox finally getting their first run of the night here in the 7th inning off Brandon McCarthy after he had stymied them in the first 6. Kurt Young, the pitching coach, looking on. That is ball 3.
111 pitches. I would imagine this is the last batter for McCarthy regardless. You get Cook in the game maybe, and then you get to the meat of the Red Sox order.
And there's a strike, 3-1.
Still a good at bat by Sweeney so far. He's doing exactly. He hasn't chased any of his pitches. He's driven up the pitch count. Worked a manageable count here.
Sweeney will take the walk and head down to first base. That is the 3rd walk given up by McCarthy in the game. And his 1st and 2nd with 2 outs as Kurt Young checks on the pen to see if they're ready. And Suzuki out to buy some time as well. We'll see where this last pitch ended up in the Amica pitch zone.
I was going to say it looked pretty good.
It looked pretty good.
Yeah. I don't blame him for being upset.
McCarthy said that's not up.
It's interesting they're leaving him in here. Clearly they understand the lefty. Oh, sorry. They're not leaving him in. So clearly they are not leaving him in.
Well, they bought some time with Suzuki out there, and they got the confirmation the bullpen is ready, and McCarthy's night will be over. With 2 outs in the 7th inning. He pitched very well tonight and departs with a 4-1 lead. For the Oakland A's, they scored 3 times. Inge with a double to drive in a run as part of the 3-run attack. Well, the Oakland A's have been scoring. The Red Sox have been frustrated by Brandon McCarthy, who strikes out 4, including Dustin Pedroia, who did not think he swung at this pitch and was upset. And it has been a night of frustration for the Red Sox with McCarthy, who does depart from this game as he leaves after 6 2/3 innings, as it turns out, responsible for the 2 men on. Red Sox have runners at first and second. To the bullpen go the A's. Ryan Cook comes into the game for his 11th appearance. He's not given up a run in 11 innings of work. Has walked 6, though, has 10 strikeouts, but opponents, how about that average? 0-31 against Ryan Cook as he comes into the game, and 2 on and 2 outs here in the 7th.
Yeah, Ryan Cook is a guy for them who's really emerged as one of the few reliable relievers they have. A guy who's going to be a bridge to Balfour or Fuentes or whoever's at the end of the bullpen, but he's been one of the few pleasant surprises for them.
Dustin Pedroia, the batter, takes the pitch outside and represents the tying run as he is at the plate here with Middlebrooks at second base, Ryan Sweeney at first base, and 2 down. It's outside, and it's 2-0. Vicente Padilla warming in the Red Sox pen. We've already seen Albers and Mortensen in relief of Bard, who went 5 1/3 in tonight's contest and gave up the 4 runs the Oakland A's have.
You're going to wonder what happens if Pedroia gets on here.
Fouled back, and it's 2-1. Get tied up on a fastball in.
They have the lefty. They have the lefty in the bullpen. The 2 lefties coming up. Is this a 1 and out for Cook? That's why I thought they might be leaving him in for 1 more batter to get to Noberto, let him face 2 lefties,
and then still have Cook out there for the 8th. You've still got a lot of baseball left.
Yeah, you've already thinned out your bullpen a little bit from the night before.
There's ball 3, 3-1. Let's see the 6 walks for Cook. Pedroia, 7th inning or later, hitting at .393. It's been his time in the game as Adrian Gonzalez waits on deck. 2 outs in the 7th. That is inside, ball 4, and he walks Pedroia, bases loaded. Fourth walk given up by Oakland pitching. And it loads up the bases for the Red Sox here with 2 down. Adrian Gonzalez coming up, and so far Melvin leaving him in the game.
Surprising. Somewhat surprising, Don. I would imagine they would bring an effective lefty against you. Have 2 lefties coming up. You have a guy who, one thing he's done this year is walk guys. Just walked another.
Gonzalez takes ball 1. That's not close. And Suzuki out to talk to Cook.
As you pointed out, great numbers for Cook, but the 6 walks. Red flag, and that's what we're seeing again here tonight.
Walk for Adrian Gonzalez and 1 plate appearance against Ryan Cook as Melvin stays with him at the moment.
And you got a guy in Gonzalez, even though he's not going well right now, he's not going to typically chase. He's going to still be getting his pitch. He's not going to do Cook any favors here, probably.
Adrian is 0 for his last 13. Strike 1, 1-1 as he grabs the outside corner.
Yeah, just taking the strike there. Now what he has to do, he's gotten some pitches and few at bats tonight that typically he's able to handle. He's able to go against the left field wall, go the other way. He fouled him off. See if we can square one up.
Gonzalez takes strike 2. It is 1-2. Breaking ball that time.
Fooled there. A little bit out in front. Got out in the front foot. Couldn't recover.
Bases filled with Red Sox, 2 down in the 7th inning. Golden opportunity here. Gonzalez fouls it off.
But that looked like a good pitch.
95 miles an hour on the pitch. McCarthy responsible for 2 of the 3 runners that are currently on. And runners in scoring position. Adrian hitting at .458. He was 2 for 3 this year. The bases loaded. Gonzalez will foul off another.
The pitch before was one that looked like he could handle. That pitch was just a good job of fouling it off, I think. There it is. Good location. Just outside the strike zone, but you got to swing at it. Good job by Gonzalez.
Swing and a foul tip held onto by Kurt Suzuki as Cook gets a big strikeout. Red Sox leave them loaded. They get a run. It's 4-1 Oakland. TC, Peter, and Jenny at 6:30. They'll preview John Lester's 6th start of the season. Takes the mound in the first game of a weekend series against the Orioles. Lester looks to continue his career-long dominance of the O's, who's perfect 14-0 against with a 2.36 ERA and 18 starts. Live coverage begins at 5:30 with Friday Night Fenway only on NESN. Incredible numbers against the Orioles for John Lester. As we play along to the 8th inning, frustrating end to the 7th inning for the Red Sox as Adrian Gonzalez strikes out to end last inning.
Yeah, it was the second time in the bat he was really fooled by that slider. A little out front foot, wasn't able to get any kind of leverage on it. Just you have to tip your hat to Cook a little bit.
Brandon McCarthy ends up going 6 2/3, 1 run. Mortensen back on the mound for Boston, dealing with Kila Kaiahui.
So far, what we've seen from Mortensen is the ability to play off that changeup. Really, he's thrown a lot of changeups. It's been his most effective pitch, but in the last out, maybe he was able to throw a little bit of a slider, a fastball, pounded to the ground. So if you use the changeup primarily, then play off of it, that seems to work for him so far.
Kaiahui has walked, popped out, and doubled to drive in a run. Swing and a miss, off balance, and it's 1-2.
There it is again.
I would say that is his best pitch.
At least that's what Saltalamacchia thinks.
Keeps going to it.
Yeah, if it works, go with what you know.
1-2 pitch. And he breaks off the breaking ball in the dirt. 2-2.
It is remarkable. He really doesn't seem to have command of any other pitch other than the changeup. You see the fastball, not good command of that. But it's been such an effective pitch so far, he's been able to get by with it.
Two pitch. Popped up foul. That'll get back and out of play. Saltalamacchia gives chase, but foul ball. Boston Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Eastern Bank. At Eastern Bank, we're made of free checking that's got nothing to hide, which means no fees or any other types of curveballs. Check out what else we're made of at easternbank.com. 4-1, the Oakland A's are on top of the Red Sox. They bat here in the 8th inning. Kila Kaiahui leads it off in the 8th. Here's a 2-2 from Mortensen.
There you have it. Fastball, only 85 miles an hour, 85, 86. I think he's getting up to 88. But if you locate it off that changeup, it looks a whole lot faster.
Kurt Suzuki, who was hit on the hand a pitch earlier in the game in his last at bat, waits on deck.
I can't believe he's in the game.
No, it looked like it really hurt when it happens.
Yes.
2-2 is on the ground at first. Gonzalez will take it himself to the bag for the first out of the 8th inning as we check in with Jenny Dell.
Don, the Baltimore Orioles will be here in 2 days, and last night their manager Buck Showalter collected his 1,000th major league win. He's one of 7 active managers to reach that total. And a manager with more than 2,700 wins will have his number retired next Friday in St. Louis. Tony La Russa led the Cardinals to 2 World Series titles in his 16 seasons there. The Angels' Jerome Williams recorded his first shutout since 2003 last night. For Williams, it was exactly 3,201 days between shutouts.
Thanks very much, Jenny. Yeah, I watched the end of that game last night, and that has been one of the good stories for the Angels because they haven't had a lot so far, but a guy who pitched in independent league baseball, and you think of all the great starters that the Angels have out there, and right now he's been outstanding. Complete game shutout last night.
Well, if there's a team that needs it, it's the Angels, because you do not want to get into that bullpen.
Yeah, the closing situation has really been bad for the Angels. This was the hit batsman Suzuki we were talking about. As Bard hit him right on the hand. He was down a while. Very surprised that he stayed in the game, but he did. He ran the bases and was caught the last 2 innings.
I got to be honest, Don. I feel a little guilty about complaining about how chilly it is here.
No, you can go ahead and do it.
No, after the guy
closed.
gets hit in the hand and stays in the game.
I thought you meant because we had the window closed.
No.
You don't have to admit to anything. They don't know.
I tell you what, the ball hit me in the hand.
You'd be out for months. DL for Bradford.
I'm soaking in a Diet Coke for a month.
You may not come back. Went down to extended spring for a while. 1-2 to Suzuki. Did I hear you correctly? You threw 200 pitches in an inning in the media
I was going to say,
game? That's unbelievable.
You know, typically, it's not conducive to health when you pitch 200 those 200 pitches
No,
after getting 364 days rest with no warm-ups in between.
Sounds like Tommy John surgery waiting for you.
And that's max effort too, Don. I don't know if you realize that.
Throwing that many pitches in an inning, I imagine. With a few men on. 2-2 is line foul.
Yeah, Don, why don't you play in the game?
It's a great question. I've never been asked to play in the game.
Well, we can make that happen.
A guy as athletic as me would be a high draft choice.
Well, believe me, if you saw the collection, you would. Yes. You talk about comparing Cespedes to Bo Jackson. I'm comparing you to Bo Jackson in the media game.
There's a 2-2 to Suzuki. And that'll miss for ball 3. Is Carl Bean still the manager?
He is.
He is.
Yes. So.
And he left you in for 200 pitches in one inning, huh?
Well, I was showing a lot of grit and guile.
Uh-huh.
He liked the look in my eye when he went out to visit me at the mound.
Ahead of most guys, were you?
Yeah, I was. I was just missing.
3-2 is strike 3. Suzuki strikes out. It's a third strikeout for Mortensen, and nice debut for him in a Red Sox uniform.
I tell you what, we talked about playing off that changeup. We laughed about a little bit how much he was going the changeup, but now he comes back with 87-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's really effective if it's put in the right location like he did there.
Bob McClure on the phone to the pen. Nobody is warming at the moment. Earlier, Franklin Morales had been up 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Brandon Inge takes a look at strike 1 over the outside corner.
You look at the job that Albers and Mortensen's done so far. That's been one of the bright spots of this game so far.
Inge walking in the 3rd, grounded out in the 4th, and had an RBI double in the 6th inning. Big part of the 3-run 6th inning for the A's, and it's a difference in the game right now. That's strike 2.
Throwing the changeup to the righty there. That shows you he has a ton of confidence in his pitch, and he's not going to back off it no matter what side of the plate the batter's on.
Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Brandon Inge to end the top of the 8th. Nice job by Clayton Mortensen. 4-1, Oakland on top. This season, join TC and Peter Gammons on Yawkey Way for 30 extra minutes of pregame coverage before the Sox take on the Orioles. Friday Night Fenway, presented by iParty. Gets the night started live at 5:30. Four to 1, the Oakland A's on top of the Red Sox. Last half of the eighth, a defensive change for the A's. Johnny Gomes takes over in left field for Oakland as Coco Crisp comes out of the game. David Ortiz to lead it off here in the eighth. And they are sticking with Cook to face another left-hander in David Ortiz.
A little bizarre.
Ortiz 1 for 3. And the shift on here for the A's as they stack it up on the right side.
Cook did an excellent job in that Gonzalez about mixing up with the slider, getting him off balance. But still, you wonder, a guy with that kind of control problems, do you leave him in against a guy like Ortiz to get things going?
I also wonder if Norberto is not going to be closing this game maybe for the Athletics too. Tough to tell.
Yeah.
Ortiz didn't like that call. 1-1. See what ended up on the Amica pitch zone. David thought it was low.
It's rough, especially when the catcher is setting up totally different plays.
That's outside. 2-1. The A's have used Balfour as their closer so far this season. 2 blown saves and a very shaky outing. Cody Ross on deck as the Red Sox bat here in the eighth. Ortiz with a big swing. 2-2.
Cook, really good stuff on his fastball. It's just locating is the biggest thing with him, it seems to be. You come back, you have that 95-mile-an-hour fastball, you come back with a slider like he did in Gonzalez. That's tough. See if he does it here.
In the dirt, and it's a full count.
Tried.
That hand is still bothering Kurt Suzuki.
Yeah, I give him a lot of credit.
He's staying in the game and gutting it out, but he is clearly in pain. Hit by a pitch earlier in the game. Until Melvin knows it. 3-2. Ortiz in the air to right field. Reddick going back into the corner. He will drop the ball in the corner, and Ortiz will head for second base. Reddick got back there and appeared to get a glove on it. He bangs into the wall, and it comes loose. And he's walking gingerly. David thought he might have had it out of here in the right field corner.
Well, you know, I think that both Ortiz and Reddick thought that was out. That ball seemed to die about halfway to its final location.
Tried the basket catch and can't come up with it. He was trying to find out where the wall was, but a ball that he should have caught looked like it hit him in the chest.
Yeah, it's funny. I was talking to Ryan Sweeney before the game about the walls out here in right field, and he stemmed off the play that Reddick made the other day. But he was talking about how right fielders do not want to go near that wall because that padding is not padding. And Reddick is a pretty fearless player, we know from playing here, but clearly he was looking at the wall when he was going back on that ball.
Now Cody Ross will foul the first pitch back. There's the bullpen wall that he's already gone over.
Yeah, we've seen it. We saw it with J.D. Drew. We saw it with a couple of other guys. You get hurt on that wall. That padding's no bargain.
The 1 to Cody Ross. Rolls it over foul, and it's 0-2. Again, this looked like a ball that he could have caught, I think, in the corner. Ends up kind of hitting him in the chest and around the glove area, but you're right, he didn't know where he was.
Really, I'm wondering if he thought that was farther than it was initially. When he went back, he overran a little bit. I think Ortiz thought it was farther than it was.
David standing at second base with a double, his second double of the game tonight. Ross strikes out. 95 from Cook, and he blows it by him. Second strikeout for Cook.
He's got that life on that fastball when he puts it in the right place. That seems to be the magic to what he delivers in terms of Cook, in terms of just setting up with a fastball, 95, 96, then coming back with a slider. We saw it with Gonzalez. We saw him try to do it with Ortiz.
You know, runners in scoring position. How about this statistic tonight for the Red Sox? Tells you everything you need to know. 0 for 10. One out, and Ortiz at second base. Here's Jared Saltalamacchia. Broken bat looper that will be caught by Sogard at second base. There's 2 outs in the 8th. Sawed off that time with Saltalamacchia 2-away.
That could be a dangerous play for the base runner, because the perception from Ortiz's angle is that the ball might be a little further because of the swing he took, but obviously it's a broken bat. It's not quite as far. You did see him take an extra step, but it wasn't enough to get in too much danger.
And David getting confirmation there's 2 away, and what he's going to do here. And third base coach Jerry Royster.
He's telling him, I'm scoring no matter what.
Will Middlebrook's 4th plate appearance in the majors is yet to be retired as he takes strike 1. Walked in the 2nd inning, stole a base, infield hit in the 5th, and then first extra base hit. He doubled in the 7th inning. Hops it up, foul ground. That'll get back and out of play.
But you've already seen a little bit of what Middlebrooks can offer in terms of how he's approaching. You look at that first at bat, very, very patient. Then the hit to the opposite field, went with the other way, right what you're supposed to do with it. Not overwhelmed by the situation, not swinging too hard.
Down and away. Suzuki doesn't know where it is. And Ortiz will stay at second base, upset with himself. If you're not sure, better to hang out where you are.
You can't take that chance. Would he have gotten there? Sure, but you can't blame him.
Suzuki ends up kicking it himself away.
The benefit just isn't enough to take that chance.
Going down 3 runs in this game. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Middlebrooks strikes out, and Cook, very impressive. David Ortiz double to begin the inning. He does in advance. It's 4-1 Oakland. Ahead, brought to you by Safeco Insurance. After a day off tomorrow, the Red Sox will welcome the Baltimore Orioles to town. The O's enter the day with a 15-9 record, and tonight they beat the Yankees. Offensively, they are led by Chris Davis, who leads them in average. Adam Jones is tied for the team lead in homers with Matt Wieters, who leads in RBIs. Jason Hamill, who is scheduled to pitch on Sunday, leads the team in ERA and strikeouts. That coverage begins at Friday at 5:30 with Friday Night Fenway. Eric Sogard, the second baseman, leading it off in the ninth inning. More Clayton Mortensen in his Red Sox debut. There is action behind him in the Red Sox pen. Franklin Morales back up for Boston. And we were wondering who was going to try to save the game tonight for the Oakland A's. Brian Fuentes, who has done it in the past and did it for the first 2 months of last year. And it looks like he will be getting the nod tonight, as this one is grounded foul.
Yeah, I was talking a little bit, Nick Punto, a little bit about Fuentes. He played with him in Minnesota. Really a big fan of him. The way he approaches the game, attacks the strike zone, which is what you want as a closer. Probably still, in my mind, more of a setup guy, but obviously with Bellafor, their closer, not available, he's the next in line.
He's got the experience, 199 saves. As the pitch misses, that's kind of alarmed to find that number out last night. You think about his time with the Angels and the games that he saved there. But 199 saves. He needs one more to become the 6th left-handed reliever in Major League history to record 200 saves. Franco, Wagner, Myers, Righetti, and Lyle.
That's a pretty good group.
How about that? This is line foul down beyond Canvas Alley.
I got to be honest.
Yeah,
I would not put Brian Fuentes in that group if you didn't tell me.
That's why I'm running it back out there again.
You are.
I got it last night. It was good, and I ran it back out again tonight. I mean, it's a good stat.
You can never go to that stat enough.
No. You may hear it again in the 9th inning when he comes in.
It would behoove you to bring that back up.
1-2 is chopped right side. Gonzalez is a long way away, but over is Mortensen. Covers the bag nicely, and that's 7 in a row retired by Mortensen. WEI, no one covers the Celtics better as they make their way to banner 18 tomorrow. And Dennis Callahan, Tim Legler from ESPN, and Celtics head coach Doc Rivers join the coverage. All begins tomorrow morning at 6 right here on NESN and on 93.7 WEEI FM. You'll see Adrian do this a lot, ranging over the second base side of first to retrieve balls, and Mortensen did a good job of getting off the mound in a hurry.
Yeah, you're going to find this shocking, but it came on a changeup too. Listen, I mean, it's been working for him. It's a very effective pitch. It'll be interesting to see as he has more appearances and there's more of a scouting report on him if it's as effective.
I'm sure there's an advanced scout here for the Baltimore Orioles getting ready for the weekend series. You've probably noticed exactly what you've said.
I don't know. They've been cutting costs.
Have they? Dan's not running scouts out there?
Oh, well.
1-0 is going to be a strike. It's Johnny Gomes batting for the first time tonight. Took over defensively last inning for Coco Crispin left.
I think Dan's just been watching this broadcast, taking notes.
Well, if there's one broadcast you're going to watch in the majors, NESN is it.
Well, I'm listening too, because no one's broken it down like we have tonight.
The 1-1 is fouled off, and it's 1-2.
He talked about Gonzalez ranging to the right there. It's interesting. It's such a fine line for first baseman. Kevin Youkilis, when he moved over to first initially, that was his biggest problem, that he just could not gauge that. He would go way too far, take himself out of the play. And it's really something, that an instinctual thing for first baseman, obviously something Gonzalez has done.
That is strike 3 over the outside corner. Johnny Gomes didn't think so. That is now 5 strikeouts for Clayton Mortensen.
Yeah, it comes back with a slider. Really effective stuff from Mortensen so far. Just setting guys up, again, with that changeup, playing off the changeup. The hitters now, they've been through the lineup at least once, so they know what Mortensen has. Changeup a lot throughout the first time. Now he comes back with the slider, effective stuff.
5 strikeouts is a high for a Red Sox reliever this season, and he just got here.
It will be interesting if the plan was to send him back down when Cook gets up. Does this change things at all?
One pitch missing badly, 1-1.
You know, we talked about Cook, and if he did go to the bullpen as a reliever, what purpose he would serve. And it's, you know, there have pieces out there. Each guy has a role, and they can bring something to the table. Well, we've seen what Mortensen can bring to the table, and to be honest with you, if you called up Cook and you put him in the bullpen and you get a performance like this,
you'd be thrilled.
You'd be thrilled, absolutely.
To me, the Cook situation seems like he would be the long reliever, would make the most sense.
Yeah, but you don't want to get in that Wakefield situation, right? Here, right, where you're keeping a guy around and he doesn't really serve a purpose unless it's a blowout.
I would imagine it's going to take him a good bit of time to get ready, used to being a starter. I mean, there's things you have to take in consideration when he's coming in.
He hasn't done it regularly since 2003. And each of these guys, you look at the fifth inning where you have bring a Albers in, or you bring a Morales in, or you even a Tazawa when he was up.
Swing and a miss. This was impressive. Clayton Mortensen, 6 strikeouts, 3 innings of relief. It's 4-1 Oakland. During the 2012 season, Hess and Hess Express will donate $500 to the Red Sox Foundation for every Red Sox home run. Hess and Hess Express, committed to helping the cause. It's on to the 9th inning from Fenway Park. It's 4-1. The Oakland A's on top of the Red Sox. Oakland out hitting the Red Sox 9-6, and after Grant Balfour has had a tough time, he's blown 2 saves, had a shaky outing last night, but they go to Fuentes to close this out tonight, does Bob Melvin of the Oakland A's. His 11th appearance, 1-0 with a 4.00 earned run average. So mention this is not his first rodeo. 199 career saves for Brian Fuentes in his career. And he was upset last year when he was taken out of that situation before Bailey came back. But he did a good job in the first 2 months of the season for Bailey in closing games. 12 saves, but then 3 blown saves. And they took him out of the closer's role. The rest of the year did not have any save opportunities. A 1.57 ERA in his final 29 appearances. You see Balfour out there, and he's got the jacket on. There is Marlon Byrd to start the 9th inning. And a foul back out of play.
And Fuentes, as I said before, I think that he's more of a setup guy, despite the stats, and they are excellent stats. But more of a setup guy, but a very useful setup guy. Not necessarily a closer. Tonight, I think their hand is forced a little bit because of Balfour's situation.
Bird 1 for 3 in his career against Fuentes. As he's down 0-2.
There was a reason he got that contract a few years ago. He's a valuable commodity, that type of pitcher.
Marlon Byrd, then Mike Aviles, Ryan Sweeney expected in the inning. Towards the end of the battle, one hopper, tough play for Pennington, but he makes it for the first out of the 9th inning. 6-3 on the putout.
Boy, that was a nice play by Pennington. It was a much more difficult play than first anticipated. The ball came back on him a little bit. You see it spins over to the left. He makes the adjustment and makes the throw. Pennington's had a nice game in the field tonight.
One out in the 9th inning, and it brings up Mike Aviles. Mentioned the saves in the career for Brian Fuentes. He had 48 saves for the Angels in 2009.
You're a big Brian Fuentes guy.
I'm becoming a fan every stat I read.
It was amazing. You forget, though.
48 saves. He was part of the team that came in and swept the Red Sox in the American League Division Series. Of course, from Papelbon blew the save in the final game that Clay Buchholz started, Game 3 of that series, here at Fenway Park. And one pitch is away, and it's 1-1. Don't forget, coming up immediately after the game, stay with us for WB Mason Red Sox Extra Innings Live. It's all the post-game coverage you'll need, and it's right here on NESN.
As I was saying before, Punto was raving about it. He had played with him, likes the way he attacks the hitters, and as a closer, you want that.
Off his glove, slowed it down. Pennington's throw will be off the mark and off the front of the Red Sox dugout. Reaching at first to be Aviles. Pennington had to hurry the throw, and he throws it away.
Yeah, it would have been a tough play. Would have been very, very close.
It is a base hit for Aviles.
You could see Pennington there. He knew he had to get a little extra on it. That's why he overexerted himself a little, but it pulled it. Went to the left of the bag.
Pinch hitter here for Ryan Sweeney, Darnell McDonald. Well, last night we saw Kevin Youkilis used as a decoy, which turned out to be interesting. We thought that perhaps he just couldn't get the back loose, but actually used as a decoy. Darnell McDonald was announced into last night's game, so could not pinch hit. He does here tonight. And look out, as he was showing bunt, he has to get out of the way.
Got to be honest, Don. I don't think they have a lot of decoys on the bench tonight.
No.
Not to the level of Kevin Youkilis. This is the guy right here. Darnell seems to have turned it around a little bit.
Well, what a great spring training he had, and what a tough start he had after that. McDonald hits a fly ball to center field, playable for Cespedes, who's now into right center. And there's two down in the 9th. Boston Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, Kia Motors, and by Sullivan Tire. 2 outs, 9th inning, and a runner at first base for the Red Sox. Dustin Pedroia, the batter. Against Fuentes, 0 for 3 with a walk in his career. Tonight he is 0 for 3 with a walk in this game.
It was amazing. I think heading into last night's game, Pedroia's on-base percentage in the 9th inning was over 500.
And the Red Sox tonight 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position. They have left 10 men on base.
Not a lot of balls hit hard.
No. And part of that is because of the work of Brandon McCarthy tonight, who went 6 2/3. That's a strikeout. It's 1-1. McCarthy 5 hits, 1 run. Picture of record right now. And very nice job by Ryan Cook, who came in the 7th and 8th.
Yeah, we were a little bit skeptical about his command early on in his performance, but he really bounced back. Showed a really good fastball and a slider that kept some guys off balance.
That's inside, 2-1.
We're looking forward if Pedroia does reach Adrian Gonzalez 3 for 13 against Fuentes.
One pitch. Pedroia grounds it foul, and it's 2-2.
One thing this team has shown this year that they didn't show hardly at all last year is the ability to come back. And I know you guys have probably mentioned this numerous times, but it really is striking. When they were down last year, there really wasn't much fight. For whatever reason. I don't know what the reason was, but numerous times this year, they really showed the ability to come back.
2-2 pitch to Pedroia. That is down and in, and it's a full count. This Fenway Park crowd standing with 2 down in the ninth. Pedroia hits it out towards left center field. On the run is Cespedes back on the warning track. It's off the wall. Avila's coming around from first base. Will score the second Red Sox run. Throw goes to third. Pedroia keeps it going.
Boy, Pedroia still keeps going on the ninth inning. He's been on fire all year long in this inning. Little redemption for last night. Gets a pitch he can handle. That's a pitch that Pedroia is going to hit 9 times out of 10. Exactly what he's going to do. Exactly what he did with it.
Very bad location there from Fuentes. And Pedroia at second base with 2 outs in the ninth inning. Tying run at the plate now. And Adrian Gonzalez, who is 0 for his last 14. He is due. Pitch low and outside, ball 1.
Key here is that Adrian Gonzalez has to find the right pitch, but more so, he has to take advantage of it. He's gotten a couple good pitches tonight, but he's fouled them off. He hasn't done what he normally does with them.
Swing and a miss, badly fooled, 1-1. You see Adrian off balance too much, but he just did on the change.
Well, you know, it's the second at bat that he's had that happen, where he's been out in the front foot, he's been fooled a little bit. When he's going good, you don't see that. He's able to adjust and hit the ball the other way.
In the ninth inning, he's been 2 for 7 on the year. Pedroia will take third as this bounces in for ball 2. Defensive indifference gets Pedroia to third base. His run does not matter.
Looking at the flag right now, no wind, very little wind.
Gonzalez on the ground to third base. It is picked by Inch. His throw is good and this game is over. The Oakland A's have come into Fenway Park and taken 2 out of 3 from the Boston Red Sox. And really surprising to see this take place. The Red Sox had trouble tonight with the starter, and Red Sox can't be very happy about this. This is the chance to take advantage of some teams that are not playing very good baseball. They dropped 2 out of 3 to the A's.
Really, I think you got to look at Brandon McCarthy as the star of the game. He really controlled the Red Sox lineup. Obviously, the Red Sox had a ton of problems in getting guys in from scoring position, but you look at the way McCarthy handled them. And then Cook coming in and doing a really, really good job of integrating 95, 96 mile an hour fastball with a slider. Red Sox bats just weren't able to get anything going at the right time.
Fuentes gets his 200th career save. Final score is 4-2 for Jenny Dell and for Rob Bradford. I'm Don Orsillo saying goodnight from Fenway Park. Join us again Friday night. Sox open up a series against the Orioles. Friday night, Fenway will get you started. It's been a presentation of NESN, New England's most watched sports network. It's time now for Tom Caron at the NESN HD Television Center.